disturb Zeke.
Alright, I got the stream started. We're up and running. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Zeke here. And welcome to another episode of Edge of the Empire, Relics of a Time Past. Sorry about last week. That was my fault. Bad day at work. Really bad day. Either way, we are back. A little late. Yeah, I'm taking the fault on that one again. But this time, hopefully we're gonna try to get out of this and get off the whole once every other week thing again, because it's getting annoying. Back to once a week. Either way, we're all gonna have a lot of remembering to do, because, well, it's been a bit. I only remember bits and pieces. Hopefully the recap that we got going, and I believe that is Lance. You said it was you, right?
You betcha.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still waking up. I haven't had a sip of my coffee yet. Hopefully that recap will jog at least more than a few sprockets and gears and knock the dust off. Either way, let's take a look at this. It seems Rose, Desric, and a warrior, and there's Miraz, are all up here.
Yeah, I befriended a warrior last session.
Let's
I have made new friend.
see, Leo and Abe are here with one of the rebels, the Twi'lek. Ellie, Pith, and this guy, this human, Mark, I said his name was? Yeah. Are back in the Skylark with the old HK. That's right. Pith was getting medical attention because he was actually in really bad shape. But, yeah. Alright, I'll get the scene after we do the recap. Everyone also do your force rolls, and I'll do my other rolls. Lance, if you would, take it away with a recap.
All right, out. Personal entry encrypted. We're still on Felicia. Things are going from bad to worse the longer we stay down here. Part of me wonders if this isn't another terrace. Place where just bad things happen. Since landing, we've barely managed to relocate using retro thrusters. The Skylark has been flipped over twice. Pith and I came off the worst of everyone. It was bad enough that neither of us have been terribly helpful in the hours that have followed. Add to that, things between Desric and Leo seem to have reached a boiling point. Again. Enough that weapons were raised, threats exchanged. My memory's foggy, but I'm quite sure I remember a standoff at the ramp between Desric, Rose, and Leo. They couldn't even work together to fix a fuel leak. Things are so bad between them. Leo delivered an ultimatum of sorts. Treat him respectfully, or cut him loose. Not an unreasonable request, even if the invitation was made at the point of a blaster. We need everyone to stick together. Desric is so angry, so bitter or afraid, probably all of the above. He chose to leave Leo behind. Every fiber of my being says that we need to find a way to keep him aboard. The spark of their latest disagreement, the unknown ship that landed, turned out to be friendly. A couple of Alliance soldiers. Apparently they came here looking for Mainframe, Leo's code name. His intuition, if that's what it was correct. Unfortunately, Desric is so twisted up inside, all he can seem to see are the worst-case scenarios. I don't have all the answers, but giving up on a member of this crew just isn't an option. Anyway, the captain tasked me with looking after Pith while he, Rose, and Mers prepared to head north. No sooner had I settled in than I noticed Pith he didn't look right. I'm finding it difficult to think clearly at times, but I knew he needed help. I wasn't up to the task. The scanner indicated he could slip into a coma if we did nothing. Fortunately, one of those Alliance pilots that we didn't blast is a medic, Mark. He was able to attend and help Pith. His partner remained on the ship while Leo and Abe went about, well, whatever they're doing on that shuttle. Apparently, Mark knows a mutual friend of Pith's, someone who pulled the strings to get them here. I'm glad he did. Even if I still don't know who, I suspect Pith has a lot of friends around the galaxy, and we're probably going to need every one of them. Now, as far as Jesrick and the others, apparently there's a base of some sort to the north, where we might be able to find some replacement parts for the Skylark's engines. I have an idea. We just need enough parts to get one of the engines going. You probably think I'm daft, but I know what I'm doing, and I know it'll work. We will not remain stuck on this planet. End and encrypt log.
Very nice. And yeah, that jogged a few things. I completely forgot about those little fights.
Cool. Yay, one light side.
I got 2 light, so...
This seems appropriately balanced compared to last week,
Oh yes,
or
very
last
much
game.
so.
And I didn't even get to use them as much as I wanted to. Okay. So yeah, that pretty much painted a decent scene, so... Don't know when Nearly had the time to do that. We'll just leave that up to background. But yeah, she is in there with Biff.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's probably when she's doing it.
Probably stepped out because Mark would overhear.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so... Let's see. I believe I said Pith would be fine in about an hour or two. He'd wake up.
Yeah, he was stabilized, so good to go there.
Alright. Great, I need to really write down Pith's friend. I had a name for him, and I forgot the name. I don't think there was anything really needed to do with the Skylark, was there? That required a scene freely?
Not really, no. I think basically what's there is her prepping for the pieces when they come back. Is your surround sound disabled?
Yes.
Leo was up to something with Abe, and then might have had some other things to do.
Yeah, he was going through some parts of his programming to see, if he was a threat or not.
Do you want me to erase these warrior pieces?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Right. I'm quite sure they've been buried.
I'm quite sure they were just thrown in the brushes.
Just thrown away.
Oh, okay. Buried, quote unquote. Gotcha.
It was more of a Viking sky funeral, or was that Nepal sky funeral?
More like it was just trash day and you're just tossing stuff in.
Yeah.
Okay, was there anything with Leo, Abe, and the Rebel or anything?
I wanted to ask whether he had any emergency repair patches.
Patches?
Leo has not. Yeah, basically droid stim packs.
Ah.
Leo is looking a little worse for wear currently, and he can't operate on himself.
You're asking the Twi'lek, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Twi'lek's, he's at the control panel and just kind of turns up and looks at you. It's like, don't have much in the way of repair parts for a droid, but I do have some stuff in the back that you could do we could do some system repair work on.
Then that's what we will do.
Alright. How's the other droid? Does he need any patch up as well?
He is most certainly going to need some work doing. He has been on this planet an awful long time.
If he's coming with, I could do some repair work on him along the way. Let's go ahead and see what I can do to get you patched up. Not the best mechanic in the world, but I know my way around a hydro spanner.
I can direct you.
Alright. He begins to walk into the back of the ship. To the cargo bay. I assume Leo is following.
Yep. Not before he turns to Abe and goes, "Come along."
Oh, well, I was just gonna stay here. Okay, I'll come along.
And he begins to follow you. As you get in, not much in the way of that much parts. Definitely a lot of ship parts, but for smaller stuff, not so much. So you do see some wires, maybe some chips sitting around. He kind of just goes through a lot of it and turns to look at you. He's like, "Yeah, there's a intentional hole in our ship. We were kind of using that as a cover in case we were ever found. So that's what all these parts are in here for. But I do believe I can modify at least some of the wires. Take care of anything that's might have got fused out like that."
It'll do.
Alright. So he starts picking up some wires, motions you to hop up on the not so much of a table, more like a counter.
Yeah. So he gets up and sits on the side, on the edge of it, and he goes, "One thing to note: do not repair these injuries." And he points at his blaster marks in his chest.
I don't really have too much in the way of Durasteel for that, but out of curiosity, why?
Those are wounds that I need someone to see.
Alright. Understood. Picks up some wires, some tools, and he goes over to your direction. It's like, okay. I'm at least going to take this part of the chassis off and set it to the side. I'll place it back on when we're done. And I'm going to go at it. At this point, since you're skilled in mechanics, you'll give him a upgraded die.
Uh-huh.
But as he said, he's not well-versed droid, so he will take a disadvantage. A threat. Or not a threat, but a black die.
He's looking
Setback?
over at
Setback, yes.
He's looking over at Abe and he goes, "Were you given any programming to assist in mechanic duties?"
Not at this level. Like I said, I was a logistics droid primarily in the Republic.
Never mind then.
Yeah, sorry about that. But best I can do is walk around here and see what we can use as, extras or a band-aid we can throw over you, basically. But that's really all my expertise goes to.
By all means, do that then.
Alright, so Leo is taking more than half his life in damage.
Yes, he has.
Alright, that's 2 die. And Alright, he succeeds. He ends up healing 5 damage done to you. But he's not, like I said, all that familiar with droids, so he actually came up with like 3 threat, but he had 1 advantage left over, so he has 2 threat. What is your system strain? 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and give you that 2 system strain, due to like maybe a crossed wire here or there that he or not crossed wire, but more wrong wire.
He probably hears a long sentence drawn out in a language that he is not familiar with.
Long sentence drawn out in a language he's not familiar with. What?
Yeah, like because he's done like a wire cross, that like Leo's circuitry has rewired it so that it comes out in a vocal sense. So Leo is speaking a language that that guy isn't familiar with.
What language, out of curiosity? Because if it's a common language, he would definitely know it.
Unless he's been to Molivar, he won't know the language. And that
I
would
have
be Molivar.
no idea of what language Molivar speaks.
Well, it would be Molivaran would be the language. It would be. It's basically like a really local language that only that species would speak.
Okay, so yeah, he wouldn't know it. I'm assuming since it's a common language, Leo would know what. Leo would know the language of Rill, Twi'lek language, right?
I would assume so. Yeah, because he works in he used to work in a spaceport.
All right, just double checking this all. All right, so yeah, he kind of looks at you confused, and realizes what he's done. He's like, "Oh, sorry, my mistake." Switches the wire back, and before he actually continues, he not just switches the wires back, but completely did what he did there, and he looks up at you. He's like, "Okay, try your vocabulary now."
Oh, perfectly fine now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It is not a problem.
Yeah, you're the first droid I've worked on. Either way.
And my secretary is a lot more messier than most.
Well, he continues it pretty much with no other problems. Like I said, you take a couple strain. But you gain back 5 HP, so you already said it.
He's perfectly fine now. Well,
Replace.
still a bit scruffed, but it's fine.
Yeah, he does replace some internal metal pieces with, what looks to be scrap metal. Ave kind of like bringing back and forth a few things. Some of them, he's actually, looking into your chassis, seeing what needs to be replaced that, you said could be replaced. And he just kind of cuts out some bits of metal that, almost shape perfectly like it. And hands them over to the mechanic working on you.
Okay.
All right, you patched up. Best I can do.
Trust me, it is more than sufficient.
He turns and looks at Abe. Hopefully, when we get up into space, I can at least do a basic one on you as well.
No offense, I'll wait on someone who's done multiple droids before. No offense, it's just yeah, my hardware is not like a normal B1.
At the very least, allow him to clean you.
I'll leave that to him. I don't want to be a burden.
Well, anyway, I got this done. I can give him a quick wash over while we're in transit to the Rebel fleet. About anything else we need here?
Another thing, I will go and check on the doctor over in the Skylark, and I will return shortly.
Mark may be a basic medic, but he's actually better than he gives himself credit for. So I'm gonna get back to work up here. And he heads back off into the cockpit.
Okay, Abe,
Yeah.
keep an eye out on the local area. We don't want any more surprises.
Alright, I'll do some patrols.
And he pulls out the gun he had holstered on his hip. Yeah, keeps it kind of low this way in case it goes off, safety. Gun safety. And, just marches out calmly through the door. As soon as he hits ground, he slowly looks around, plots a path, checks out the ground terrain, and as he's going, his head's just kind of literally on a swivel, much like Leo's, except, it's spinning relatively quickly. Kind of a search pattern. And yes, it also spins 200 degrees in both directions.
Oh, yeah.
So Desric's nightmare if he could see this.
It is a good thing I am far away.
He's also walking quite quickly in a brisk patrol route, since he's the only one patrolling.
I'm still waiting for him to say Roger, Roger.
One day.
I may have him say that once or twice.
Or he could meet twin brothers named Roger.
If anyone would name a B1 battle droid Roger, it's just...
It's already happened. It was in my last campaign. Well, actually, it's
Oh.
in the current.
Okay.
I was about to say that has to happen at least once in pretty much every Edge of the Empire campaign.
His name was R0G4R, I think. And then I blew him up in a spectacular fireball.
Aw, poor V1.
Yeah, poor dude.
Was he annoying everybody?
No. Wasn't too bad. Just wanted to change your character. Regardless.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of robots, Jonas, that was not good.
What?
You like that for a bit as well.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we derailed you. Go ahead, Zeke.
Well, I was going to ask, anything Major Leo needs to do? Though I guess at this point in time, this is kind of like where, this group up here was, doing their searching, finally found the generator and all that, so might as well stay over here until something catches up. Or until these guys are done.
Yeah. Do you want to swap to Ellie then? Since should have had some time.
Illy doing anything
yeah,
besides
do that.
working on the ship?
Probably checking in on Pith from time to time as well. But her priority was basically to get the ship as up and running as we can under the circumstances until we have additional parts to work with.
Yeah, Pith is actually when you seen him before, Mark did all of his stuff on him. He did seem in bad shape. Kind of limpy almost. In some places kind of just lucid, in others it's just kind of stiff, almost a very weird pattern. At this point, he actually looks calm and a bit peaceful right now. He's looking good. His head wound's patched up. He's looking good. As good as an Authorian can get.
Okay, that's good. Then, yeah, he does seem to be in fairly capable hands right now. So, yeah, she's going to try and do what work she can, trying to manage the headache and everything else.
Alright, so is that about it, or?
Yeah, it's about all I can think of at the moment.
Alright, if Leo's got nothing, we'll head back to the group at the top.
He was just gonna head on to the ship and check on Pith. So he would have passed Ellie at some point.
Yeah, same scenario with Pith, but if you want to talk to Illy, I gotta look for a pen. Found one. So nothing between Leo and Illy?
I was wondering if I had been DC because it got very quiet.
Oh,
Okay. I thought you were going to start.
So yeah, Leo just walks more or less straight past Ellie to have a look over at Piff, and he looks over to the rebel medic, and he goes, "Is he well?"
See?
he looks. I thought he looked over at Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
My bad. I was actually writing down the name of his friend. Yeah, he's doing good. He should be conscious in a couple hours or two. Luckily, we caught him when he did. Would have taken a lot longer. It was a decently simple procedure, but he's good.
I was concerned that we would have had to have found a specialist in Euphorian physiology, but thankfully that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, one thing about the rebellion, you learn the physiology of multiple people.
Of course. And then Leo turns his head over to look at Ellie across his shoulder, and he goes, "Why are you standing?"
I've got to get these engines up and running, or at least ready to go for the parts when they arrive.
Have you allowed yourself to be examined by the medic?
No.
Do so now.
All right, fine. And yeah, she'll step back into the medical area and have a seat on one of the boxes.
I'll have to think of a name later. I'm bad with names. Yeah, I can use a random gen online. That'll do. Okay, so. Mark turns around and just kind of looks at you and says, "Well, Leo seems quite pushy, but he is quite right. Let me take a look at you. You don't look too bad. And he kind of grabs the scanner and just gives you a quick scan over. Looks like mostly a concussion. Mild. May have some ringing here and there. Nothing too serious. And he kind of looks at the bruise. Yeah, let's get this taken care of real quick. And he walks around. Looks at the medical supplies you guys have. He's like, well, I really feel better if we had some Bacta, but it looks like that shattered. Let me hop over to my ship. I'll bring over some supplies.
All right. Thank you.
As he walks past, he turns to Leo. She's fine to stand around for a while, but if she feels dizzy, she does need to sit. And he walks briskly back off to his ship.
Yeah, Leo looks at her and goes, consider that doctor's orders.
Fine. I don't feel dizzy. Can I get back to work for now?
Of course.
Thank you. And she will stand up and head back to engineering for the moment.
Is that about it? Or you guys got some more?
For now, that's more or less it.
Okay. Well, eventually he comes back. He has a first aid kit. And he has Illy, turn around. He swabs some Bacta over the wound on her head, cleans up the blood. Also, because it's Bacta, the wound starts to slowly heal. It wasn't a horrendous wound, but more like a long scar going across her the side of her forehead. And he does add some quick patches on there. Virtually, it'll eventually, heal over like normal, but for right now, at least it doesn't sting. But, recover one wound for the treatment, if you have any.
No current wounds, so yeah, she's zeroed out, good to go.
Alright. And with that, he hops back into Pith, and we're going to go back up to Team Up North.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, sorry that it took longer than I thought. I was kind of hoping it would be some stuff to be done, but quicker. Yeah, less overall, I guess you could say. Either way, not blaming anybody. Let's go.
So to be clear, the only one who heard the scream was Rose.
If I remember right, there were 2 screams.
Yes, 2 screams left and right.
No, there was no direction. At least none that you could decipher.
Room and I can go right, yeah.
There were 2 completely different screams. I know one was rather inhuman. Not like anything you've heard, and I can't remember what the other one was. Don't remember if it was a scream of rage or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. She's in the room and she's heard it. She's gonna have a quick look in the room that she's just gone in. She wants to have a quick glance to see what she can find.
Oh yeah, she hopped into that side room.
Yeah, the side room, yeah.
You see what looks to be not so much as a lavish office, but more it's definitely an office, and this would pretty much be where you would suspect the commander of the whole base would be. It has terminals for just about everything here. Seems to also have some communications equipment. However, even though the lights are on, it seems like there was some either the damage over time or salvage from the time they left, or perhaps even salvage from what the natives have done, but nothing in here works.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna look around. Is there any doors to the left or right?
Nope.
Alrighty. Just gonna be cautious, and I'm gonna walk in, have my sword out, and just look and try and find anything that looks, I don't know, off-putting, unnatural.
So
Something seems up.
you're trying to do a skullduggery roll.
Yeah, I can do one of those. That's fine.
That would be, from the way I'm taking this, you're looking at something that shouldn't be here, or maybe something modified to hide something, right?
Possibly, yeah. If there's like a secret door or something like that.
All right. So do a roll.
Uh, 2.2.
All right. So you're looking around, feeling along something, and you get to a point in the wall where it looks seamless, but as your fingers go over it, there's definitely something that isn't quite right. There's like something catching your fingers. Hard to see, but it's there. You start knocking around, and there is a little hollow point here. You open it up or no?
Yeah, I'm opening up.
As you open it up, door is a little rusted, but it comes off.
Alright, I calm Des quickly, I would say. In the side room now. Close the cut off and wait for
Desric will
our
kind
beastly
of-
friend to come.
Desric, I guess, will respond to the comm and just kind of, okay. Before heading off to wherever Rose just disappeared to, can I have a quick look around? I want to know basically where the warrior who's been kind of shadowing us has been.
He's at the door where Rose is at.
So I need to go past him to get to where Rose is?
Yeah, but the door is big enough only for one person to fit in.
What? Is he standing in the doorway? Like I have to get through?
Yes, he's
around
standing
him
in the
through
doorway.
him? Okay, well this ought to be interesting. I'm pretty sure my weapons are holstered at this point, and I have my glow. I had just turned my glow rod off and was putting that away. So Desric will kind of come up to the warrior and like clear his throat, since he doesn't speak whatever forced language this being speaks.
He's been following Rose, just kind of keep watching on her. As soon as you clear your throat, he quickly jolts around, seemingly taken a little bit by surprise. Doesn't do anything hostile, but definitely takes a slightly defensive guard. Lowers it, kind of leans a little closer to you, tilts his head, leans back up, and
Desric just kind of gestures and says, "I'm trying to get inside," and points at at Rose.
And he looks at you, to Rose, to the doorway, back to you, and then slowly just kind of backs up. Kind of, as soon as he gets in, he kind of like bobs up and down. Not excitedly, but more like, I think I get what you're saying. Kind of bob.
Thank you. And Desric goes inside to go find Rose.
Well, every time you speak, you do hear these clicks and screeches, just low, nothing hostile, more like you're communicating, he's communicating, but no one knows what each other's saying.
Yeah, I feel like that's actually how communication happens more often than not with Desric. I say one thing and people hear something completely different.
What was that?
Oh,
Yep.
I'm going to, since the secret way is kind of open, can I look in? What does it look like inside?
Well, the thing you pushed on was not an actual doorway. It was the door on it was like a secret compartment.
Oh, alrighty.
My bad.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna like put my head into the secret compartment and then like look around.
The secret compartment seems to be made of, like, it's through the wall. You do see wires going through, but you also see, like, it is meant to be a cubbyhole. But whether or not this was a maintenance thing, or maybe the guy over the base had it installed or not, you don't know. But you look forward, you see some wires. You start looking down because it's like, well, would be about chest high on a normal clone, so you're probably still having to...
It'd be about shoulder, it'd be about a little bit, maybe shoulder or something.
To Rose's shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can look down. There's no lights in there. You do see what seems to be a few holsters for pistols, though there's nothing in them. And there is something down in the bottom, however. But it's kind of hard to make out due to lack of lighting in there.
Alright, I'm going to turn on my glow rod again and see if I can figure out what the thing is.
You see a bottle.
Okay, so empty holsters and a bottle.
Do you say any of that out loud?
No, I don't.
So, what'd you find, Rose?
A bit of silence for a sec. I want to see if I can reach... Actually, is there anything in the bottle?
You can't tell. It does have a label on it, but if it's sitting in there, the top of the bottle is like facing you. You're staring like directly down, so.
Yeah.
And it is a dark bottle that's not transparent.
Alrighty. I'm gonna reluctantly. She's gonna like put her hand just like to the entry point of this compartment, and then lift up the bottle with the force.
All right. So the bottle is way down there. If you wanted to grab it, you'd have to stick your arm in there a good ways, but it begins to come up. I'm not going to have you roll. There's...
Too late, I rolled one light, so I'm fine.
Yeah. It's slowly coming up. You starting to hear some more chirping and clicking from the creature. More intrigued than anything. As he's kind of, as you can tell, no, the light's put away. You kind of hear the waddling sounds. Desric, whether you look back or not, he has come into the room and he's slowly moving closer to Rose. Like interesting, like he's interested in something. And it comes up, and you now have the top of the bottle in your hand.
I'm gonna pull it out slowly from the compartment, then have a proper look at it.
All right. It is Teresian whiskey, and the date on this thing is old. Like, even for the Clone Wars, it's like during the Clone Wars, this would have been over 100 years old.
And Deseric's face lights up.
And it is
Is it
still full.
it's still full? Okay, so it's all corked up and stuff.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Rose, is that what I think it is?
It's also a rather large bottle, too.
Yeah. She has like a look at it and read some of the information. Yeah, it is. But I call dibs. So
Oh, come on.
Huh.
You have to cut the captain in. This is just galactic law here. Desert is making pathetic excuses to try and get a cut of the really good whiskey.
yeah, well, we'll see. We have other business to attend to. And she's gonna put it in her bag.
Wait. Is there any more
Place-
in there? And
place it
Desert is
gently
going to
in
go
the
like running towards the little cubby she found.
You take a look in there. You don't actually see any more, but you do see what looks to be a couple glasses.
Damn. Just the glasses. Too much to hope he has more than one stash in this place? And Desert starts looking around the room.
You hear a voice coming from outside. Or outside the room you're in, but inside the main room. You guys find anything interesting in there?
Yeah, some old whiskey. Super old.
Desert looks very defeated that she's gloating about her whiskey.
Damn, why wasn't I searching in there? Either way.
Yeah, I know. But I called dibs on it, so sucks to be you guys.
Maybe this will earn me at least a sip. Found a landing pad for ships. And there does seem to be some repair docks.
Now there's
That's
some
good.
good news.
Well, we still have to head up the stairs because we haven't been up there just yet.
Quick above board question here. The room that she disappeared into, was that behind the locked door that Desert opened, or have we not gone into that space?
It was not behind that place, and I assumed you went in. And basically, it was like a security room, a place for troopers to go in and not hide, but defend and have a defensive position. You do see a few clone helmets just kind of in there.
Would I have gotten a chance to search the room before she called me or not?
I'll say you have. You didn't find anything usable or something, but you did find a lot of interesting stuff.
Well, the locked door was a bust, so yeah, let's go check out your landing pad discovery.
Well, if you're, is that wait? Where's the land? Oh, Maris, where's the landing pad?
Right outside on the other side of the vehicle pad. Just gotta go
Alright,
go
well.
across the hangar, not the hangar. The part shed.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, there's still some. We haven't gone upstairs yet, and well, I want to head up there. If you guys want to head up, I'll take our new friend and have a look.
Alright, you'll know what parts you need better than I will.
Somewhat.
I hate splitting up the party any further than we've already done.
Is Desert
I'm
saying
gonna
that,
give you
or
Desert.
is
Sorry, no, overkill. I'm just trying to decide, does Desert go with Rose or does he go with Mirez? Because he'd probably be more interested in checking out the landing pad. At the same time, does he really trust Rose with their new alien friend? given that
And a
it's a
bottle of whiskey.
mutated form of that, and a bottle of whiskey. Ooh, I think the bottle of whiskey answers that question. No, Desert's following Rose. Yeah. Let's finish searching this place, and then we can go check out the landing pad.
And just like that, he abandons his ship for a bottle. Sorry, what?
I bet
That
that
Rose
bottle
has-
is more expensive than Desert's ship.
Probably is.
Probably,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, so she's just going to quickly have a gander around the room, and if nothing, then she's going to make her way up the stairs that was in the center part.
You slowly make your way up the stairs. A few creaks here and there. It is decently dusty in here, to say the least. But beyond that, it doesn't seem like the wildlife got in here. Or, you know, the fauna hasn't been taken back, flora or fauna. It's just dusty.
Sounds about right.
Now, the weather may have seemed to slowly been corroding it, but it's just like here and there, creak, 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 creak. Every 3 to 5 steps.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So,
Oh yeah, I just make my way all the way up.
like,
And
you
make sure
skip
everything
second,
is following
third,
us.
fourth floor and go straight to the very top. Yeah, he's following you.
Oh, if there's floors,
Oh yeah, there's
um,
multiple floors.
I
she's
thought-
gonna clear each one.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's a tower.
Yeah.
So you,
I thought we were in the building, not the tower.
We
I
are
thought-
yeah,
we
I
are
you're
thought-
in the building that is a tower.
Yeah, the building is the tower. The very bottom of the
Okay.
the tower was the like a reception area.
Okay, I guess I'm a little confused. I thought there was like a single-story structure that we were in, and then I thought the tower was what Mira's was checking
The
out.
single story structure was more like the little shack or closet garage that held the generator that is connected to the main tower. And then the other structures are, you know, the pads for vehicles and the parts.
So for a frame of reference, like how big are like the rooms or the floors associated with this tower? Is this like just a spiral staircase with some rooms off of it, or is this like a really big complex? Because I thought this was just an outpost.
It's an outpost that can, you know, do some maintenance work on vehicles and planes, as well as, you know, act as a an easily thrown together fob.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the second.
That's why there's only
Please.
like that's why this control tower also doubles as pretty much everything else.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
the staircase, think of fire escape, north, south, north, south, north, south, you know, basically. Squarish. But you do have to go up a decent bit. It's not just the fact that the ceilings are, you know, at a nice height, but between floors, let's just call it, you assume there's something, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the walls, whether it's just straight Durasteel to hold the frame up, or maybe this is where a lot of the wiring and electronics would go, and, you know, it's got access point for droids, you don't know. But it's basically how it is. And there are a total of 5 floors, and the 5th floor will be, you know, the air control and ground, you know, the tower that controls everything on the outside. Or logistics. You starting to get a picture of it now?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna hit to the second floor and start clearing out.
You get to the 2nd floor, and it looks to be a barracks. There are quite a few bunks, and you can tell this place is Spartan. There is virtually no privacy, but how much privacy do you need between clones?
That's true. I'm gonna barracks. There's like just beds and maybe trunks and stuff.
Yeah, bunk beds, trunks in front of them. Well, in front and behind them, one for top, one for bottom. Just rows upon rows.
Any signs of equipment or specialist gear, like maybe vehicle mechanics, since this was like a mechanics outpost?
Um,
Toolboxes, anything of that sort?
if there are any, they would be in the shut trunks, but while the frames are pretty much still there, everything else is like barren.
Okay, I'm gonna go into my bag, get a stim pack out, and stim myself because I'm still a little bit wounded.
Oh, wounded. Out of
And-
curiosity, because I don't remember.
I had 7 hit points, but I want to get a bit lower.
You're at 7 wounds on hit points, but yeah, I get you. Okay.
Yeah.
Flip a token or something. The specific.
I've done. I've marked it down on my note card.
Okay.
So it's just gonna look around and find some armor. Find armor-wise some stuff, and if not, some weaponry.
You look around, you don't see anything of armor or weaponry. You do see a few personal effects here or there. Like what seems to be a left behind magazine. Another one, like maybe a newspaper kind of deal. Granted, not. It's like a special pad that has this stuff on it, but nothing else.
Yeah. Alright, she's gonna. She can't find anything. Then shakes her head and says, "Well, there's nothing much else here. I say we head up more." Looking at Desric.
Yeah, let's go check this landing pad out. Maybe radio back to the ship, see how Illy and Doc are doing, and make our way
I mean,
back.
there's more levels. I say we keep going up.
Oh,
Yeah, there's 2
Sorry.
more levels before you get to the top.
yes.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna
onwards and upwards then.
go up to the 3rd level, make sure our friend is following us, and
Yeah, he's following.
Yeah.
I mean, he's keeping a bit of a distance, but he's following.
alrighty, yeah. I'm gonna go up to the 3rd level and head inside.
So, 3rd level, as soon as you walk in, this is a security office. And you got cameras all around, you got motion sensors, detectors. None of it works, but at the very end, you do see a security door. And then some, like, transfer steel to see through. And you can tell that's an armory.
Oh, now
Bingo.
this has potential.
She's going to quickly check around the main room for security consoles or something like a computer really.
Desert's going straight to the armory door.
So, Rose, you do see terminals, again, like the one downstairs. None of them seem to work. You do notice that as you walk in, there are 2, I guess you could say, specialized platforms where a turret would be.
Any evidence of those turrets still being there, or just is it an empty platform?
Desric walks straight through to the armory.
I didn't walk into the armory. I was walking towards the armory door.
That's why I said to the armory.
Yeah. She's gonna look at them, and she's gonna yell out to Desric and say, "Desric, do you think you could get computers to work?"
Desert kind of stops mid-step. Computers aren't really my thing, but I guess I could take a look.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed myself, but you probably have a better chance than I do.
Oh boy. Okay. So am I making a computers check?
Oh, you can start with a computer's check.
Oh, of course I'm talking with my push to talk turned off. Let's start with see if maybe there's a quickly visible on-off switch, The obvious stuff first. Is it plugged in?
Well, considering I have no idea how plugs work in Star Wars, I'm assumed everything was wireless.
Okay, well then I guess straight to computers check. I was just hoping to have a few more dice.
I mean, you can still do your perception check to look around.
Okay, I'll do the perception check first to see if there's anything obvious that would keep the computers from turning on. Or, booby traps or anything else stupid. Okay, 3 success, no advantage.
So, as you take a look around and see all the screens, completely off, you can see what seems to be a power button on them. 3 success. Now, there is power going to the base. You already know that. But whether or not there is anything with this this tower, if there's like any parts, servers, and stuff like that, you don't know if it's missing anything. But what you can tell is nothing has been powered in this building for a long time.
Okay, so nothing I didn't know. Let's give this a whirl, and Desert presses the power button.
Nothing.
Well, they don't seem to be powered, Rose. Not sure what to tell you. Can't exactly turn it on and check it out if it doesn't turn on. I don't know, look around for a switch or something, maybe?
Alright, I'm gonna look around and have a gander for any other sort of like power generator kind of stuff. Yeah. If you want me to roll a perception check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
1.3.
Okay, you look around and you see the side of one of these desks that has one of these old computers on it, and you notice the side paneling is off, and it's been stripped. Hard drive is gone, everything to pretty much make it run. Something that would be, maybe of technological importance, not so much, but anything dealing with store memory or critical components, they're gone.
Alrighty. Balls, yeah. Don't think we'll be able to reactivate any of this, but we do. And she's going to point over to the 2 turrets. Those will go off. But I'm also afraid if the armory opens up, those guns are going to come out as well.
Well, or is it just the mount for a turret?
You do see like the mount for the turret, but whether or not it to a turret, pushes out a turret, or it just sits there, you don't know.
Alrighty.
Because no one has taken a look at it.
Oh, let's go have a look then.
Yeah.
We're gonna go poke it with a science stick.
So, you shouldn't have done that.
Lovely.
Yeah, she's just gonna walk up to the other one, have the other one, and
Perception
Let's just
check
go
from both of you,
inspect.
please.
Yeah. Better. 3.2.
Nice.
Triumph and 1 success, so 2 success and a triumph.
Okay, so for Rose, you go over, you take a look. You can see they left the mount, but they took all critical components, weaponry, power sources, things like that. They took the easy to take and remove, but they left what's pretty much bolted to the floor.
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Desric, you look at yours. It's got it's got a top on yours. How to talk about this top? It's not really metal. It's just kind of like fabric or stuff like that, just tossed over the top of it. You can tell of any indentations. Probably this was a turret that was mounted on it. Wasn't meant to hide. This was a military facility, not a security facility. But if whatever would be there in that hole, you can't see because it has a top on it. Like some cloth fabrics torn up and just tossed on it.
Ah. Yeah, so these are most definitely disassembled and not the shooty kind or the hidden kind of turrets. So I think we're pretty safe, Rose.
Yeah, mine's fine.
Well then,
I
what do you
say-
say we have a peek in the armory?
Gladly. And she's going to head up to the armory door. Is it? I'm guessing it's shut.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, yeah, she's going to head up to the armory door and have a peek in. Is there a window on it, you said?
Yes.
I'm going to have a quick peek in and see what I can find.
You see
Meanwhile, Desric... Sorry, go ahead.
You see a lot of lockers. Many of them are open, some are shut. You don't see any weapons, but you do see like some discarded bits of armor that seem to be stained with some blood. There are some broken pieces in there as well. There does seem to be like a bandolier type of thing, and there are ammo clips on it, but these are some like big ammo clips for like a powerful rifle.
Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to try and open this door if there's any buttons on the side.
Yes,
Well,
there are
while
some
you were
panels.
looking in the window, Desric was already going to the door to try and...
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
All right.
I'll let you do that.
Desert, there is a panel beside the door, and it is definitely a security access point.
Is it powered?
Yes.
Okay, just had to clarify after last session. So yeah, Desric is going to use his bypass security talent to try and break in.
And what does that talent do? Just remove like a setback?
Yeah, removes a setback. And I roll skullduggery for this, I believe.
Yes.
And Rose,
Yeah, bro. Hell
Dibs.
yeah.
Nice.
And that's what Desric says as the lock pops open. Dibs.
Okay.
She nods in appreciation to that. She understands.
So, pull off the panel, throw a few wires together, door opens. Doesn't open all the way, but more than enough for you guys to get through. Just suddenly stops.
But not our big friend. Oh,
He's around your size.
oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not big.
I'm gonna just tell Desric, wait here a sec. And she's gonna roll on in and pull out her sword and blaster and have a look around.
Like I said, you mostly see a lot of open lockers, broken and bloody armor here and there. Not much of it, but weapon-wise, nothing. And there's that bandolier. There are 4 closed lockers.
All right. I just more checking for security, if there's anything like security droids or if there's turrets or
You could actually see everything in there from the window. There was no that you could see. There was no hidden points. There are no turrets. There are no droids. You suspect that all the security would have been, the people manning the security room and the 2 turrets up there.
Alrighty. Cool. She's gonna holster both of them. She's gonna go straight.
Desric has already slipped into the room and kind of motions to Rose. If they took the turrets, I don't think they would have bothered to leave any security for inside the armory.
Always like to be a bit cautious when you're on the job. She's gonna go pick up the bandolier.
All right, add a bandolier and some old ammo clips to it.
Alrighty.
I wouldn't recommend using those. Those are as likely to go off in your hands as they are to actually power anything.
Yeah, probably. She's gonna gently remove the clips and place them down on like a small table or bench or something.
And Desric is going to inspect lockers.
All right. First one you open up, nothing in it. Second one you open up, nothing major in it, but you do see, what is that? Couple medals here and there. Nothing important. You open up the third one, nothing in it. You open up the fourth one. There appears to be a hard drive.
Well, what do we have here? Desric will reach in to examine the hard drive.
You reach in, you grab it. You can tell as you pick it up, the thing it was sitting on buckles and just kind of falls some more. It was already sitting cockeyed in there, and as you take another look into the locker, you realize it was a hidden panel that just broke after time. So this wasn't left in there, it was forgotten.
Interesting. Can't imagine there be anything too exciting on a 20-year-old hard drive, but you never know. So Desric will... Oh, go ahead, Rose.
I was going to take the bandolier. I'm guessing it would class as a utility belt for
ammo
FFG
belt, basically.
standards.
Isn't there an actual bandolier object?
Yeah, I believe so.
Now I'm having a look in the equipment and I can't find it.
I've seen it.
Might just be me then. But yeah, I'm going to pick up the bandolier and then look at one of the other lockers that are closed. But Districts can go first.
Like I said, you basically see what he saw.
Alright.
It's the Wookiee bandolier that I saw.
But yeah, I'm going to one of the other closed doors rather than the one that Desric just opened. That's fine. We'll do the bandolier later.
I think while you were stripping the bandolier, Desric found all of the lockers that weren't to be opened. Is I
Yeah.
think what Zeke was getting at.
Yeah, he's already opened all the closed lockers. There were only 4. So you go through to see what he saw, and
Yeah, I go through what he sees. So
yeah, by the time you get to the one he's at, you see him take out the
Hard drive.
yeah.
well then, guess we have something to look at.
Yeah, guess it'll have to wait till we're back at the ship, though. Doesn't seem like anything around here is capable of powering it on.
Well, if there are when we head further up, then we'll have a gander. Yes.
After you, Desric motions.
I'm gonna just look around again for anything funky. I'm guessing no weapons or armor.
Nope.
Oh, hey, Desric never got another backpack after he kind of used his backpack full of grenades to escape.
Yes.
Is there any chance that anywhere in, like, the barracks or the armory, there's a backpack laying around that Desric could pick up?
None in the armory.
Okay, Desric's gonna keep an eye out. A barrack seems like somewhere someone should have left a backpack.
Well, you didn't look in any of the boxes. You just the chest. You just looked around.
Yeah, shit, there's chests.
Yeah.
I'm
I
looking
thought
for
you said
chests.
I thought you said the chests were all empty because I was looking for toolboxes and you said there were.
Toolboxes, but you weren't looking in the chests.
Yeah,
You basically had a general perception check through the room.
Okay. Remind me on the way back down to go search those chests for a backpack or a toolbox.
Anyway, the bandolier I put here, just take out the pouch, and that's what you got. So you can hold up to 10 ammo packs.
Okay, increases user's encumbrance threshold by 2 and holds 10.
Well, that's with the little pouch there, which I took
that's
off.
with the
Yeah.
thing. It's just an ammo pack. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to that. Just put it around
Your
my
weapon
body and
can
have a look at
run
the
out of
chests.
power.
It can, yes. If I roll
A despair or
despair,
3
3.
threat.
Yes.
That's why it never hurts to carry a second.
That's true. But yeah, I'm gonna have a look through the chests and see if I can find anything.
So
use.
go back down.
I thought let's
in the
finish
armory.
clearing upward. Oh, okay.
Okay, so one of you can go in the armory, the other one can go upstairs if you want, or you can stick together.
Yeah, Wim
I
might be a
suggest
little
staying together.
paranoid. And Rose has the good booze. Desric doesn't want to see anything happen to the good booze.
Breaks.
So heading back down and now checking the stuff, right?
Well, if you said there was trunks or chests in
Yeah,
the,
they're trunks and chests. They're all shut, and no one looked in them.
in the
In the
in
armory?
No, in the barracks.
But that's
alright,
that's
no,
the floor
that's
below
fine.
us.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Yes,
figure out. If
so-
you're going up or down again.
I'm going up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna both go up, and after we finish clearing the building, we'll check it on our way back down.
Yep, I'm gonna note that down.
And sorry to Lance and Jonas who have to sit there twiddle their thumbs while we go looting all the things.
It's all good. It's all coming back to the ship anyway.
Unless some of it gets drank by the time on the way back.
If we manage to
she plans
down
on
that
not
whole
opening it.
bottle before we get back to the ship, I don't know that we will make it back to the ship.
Yeah.
Probably
well,
not.
No, you'll make it back because we'll hear you singing.
Well, there is that.
No, she's planning on keeping it for now. And she's gonna head upstairs, make sure our friend is following us, and the third level room.
Onwards and upwards.
All right, you get up to the third level room. Mess hall.
I think we can pass on this one. I doubt there's anything worth eating here.
Yeah. He's just Rose is just gonna have a quick look around as I'm standing at the door to see if there's anything of notes, anything like unusual, out of the ordinary.
Yeah, Desric would look around. If he even went in the room, he would just look around the mess hall. He wouldn't go looking into the kitchen. It would just be to see if anyone had left anything by mistake.
It's just in disarray. Chairs, tables moved.
Yeah. All right. Rose just shakes her head and says to Desric, "Let's call it a miss. Let's keep going."
After you.
She's gonna walk up to the fourth. The fourth one. Fourth floor.
The fourth one is actually a multi-purpose room or area, floor, I should say. You see what looks to be multiple bathroom stalls. No, not stalls, but doors leading into multiple bathrooms. Kind of one looks like a lounge area. Another one that looks like a recreational area where you got some like exercising equipment. Some other stuff.
Any signs of a backpack?
She's like, got a 10 backpack.
You would have to roll.
Desric will roll. Well, I managed to generate a lot of advantage, but only one success. So that's one success for advantage.
Okay, you're left with 2 advantage.
Back to normal.
So I
Back to
quickly
normal.
determined there's nothing there.
Nothing in the backpack wise. You do see a Pazak deck.
Oh, I'll be having that.
Okay, there's no. I don't think there's an actual card for that, so write that down.
Roger.
As you pick it up, do you shuffle through it, or do you just like pick up the pack and just? It's already in the box, so pick up the pack and just pocket it.
Desric will check to make sure all the cards are there, but other than like a cursory glance to open the box, make sure there's cards in the box. No.
Oh yeah, there's cards in the box. Roll a skullduggery.
I like where this is going.
Just because you're skilled in it.
Hey, Desric may have played cards in the past. You don't know. Actually, it's probably a very safe bet that Desric played cards in the past. Can I get a ruling on the yellow die that's kind of on its edge here? So that would be 4 success and 1 advantage.
Okay.
I just inverted my last roll.
Yeah. So basically, you notice it real quick because you get the cards right there, but there's a tiny spot on every card that has been marked, and they are all different. Someone was cheating.
Oh, man after my own heart. Definitely will be keeping these. So Desert quickly pockets the cards and is ready to move on.
Alrighty. So, guys make it to the 4th floor? Oh, that way you're on the 4th floor. 5th floor?
5th is the last one, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yep, Rosa's gonna draw her sword. She's gonna walk up to the last floor.
And as you get up there, unlike the other ones, it doesn't lead into like a little area with a door to go in, like you would in like a staircase at like a hotel or something. Instead, this goes straight up into the tower at the very top. There is a place for you to come out and then come into the area, but it's all one. You don't have to pass through a passage. You see all kinds of terminal equipment, communications, short range, long range, just all kinds of stuff. If this thing does its job as a traffic control, as you can tell. Multiple areas for people to communicate with, different ships, or different, not just ships, but ground vehicles, all kinds of stuff. There's a ton of communications equipment, and you actually have quite the view looking out the transfer still.
Is any of the comms equipment powered on since we powered the base on?
There are a few lights flashing here and there.
Any obvious like speakers playing or any like recorders or receivers receiving communications?
In terms of what you hear, nothing. There's just lights, a blink of light here and there.
Okay, is any of the equipment recognizable, or is it just too old and all military stuff that we would never see?
You can recognize it. It may be maybe old, maybe military, but it's, still equipment-wise. Not hard to discern what's a radar and what's a comms device.
Huh. Might be worth having Illy come up here to see what we can salvage. Some of this at least appears still to be functional.
Rose this time is looking out through the windows, and she's just going to have an overlook through the whole base. Get a macro binocs out and just have a look.
Does it have night vision?
Shit, I don't know.
If I remember right, these are the ones I just gave you for seeing at a distance.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm going to go quickly check.
Well, either way, that said, it is dark except for the lights around the base. You do see the landing pad Mrez was talking about, but while it is a landing pad, it is also a pad for large vehicles as well, not just air. You do see a few arms and ladders to manually do some stuff. You also see like another smaller garage full of parts.
No, like, vehicles in it?
No vehicles, just straight parts.
Alrighty. Can I see Mrez down there by any chance?
Did you actually tell him to go scout it out?
No, we didn't.
I imagined he was following us.
Oh yeah, he was, so he's probably up with us.
Actually, no, he's not with you, and he's not over at that place either.
Alrighty. She's going to look over to the landing pad. I can fit the vehicles and stuff. There's nothing, no one's there.
No one's there. There's nothing in the way, and there's plenty of room for 2 Skylarks.
So,
Shit.
while Rose has been spying around, Desric has been searching the comms area for a backpack.
No backpack, but you do find like a half-eaten piece of Danish.
Ew.
20-year-old. Gross.
Probably a little dry.
And waving at you.
Just a tad.
I was about to say, on Felucia, no, it's probably got a little colony of mushrooms going by now.
Probably.
Also, I think that was GM speak for shut up about the freaking backpack.
It's a good question to ask.
Well, you're
if
not
you-
going to
yeah,
find
she's
that
finished.
kind of stuff here. At the comms tower. Anyway, what
Who
did Rose
knows?
say?
She's going to finish surveying the area, take note, and it's going to turn to Desric and say, well, that's it, I think.
All right.
There's nothing-
Well,
nothing
then
else down there.
let's head back down. I want to go check those lockers in the barracks before we head out.
Real
Good
quick.
idea. I also
Rose.
can't find Merez.
Hold on. Real quick. Rose and only Rose, you hear a growl. Like, deep and threatening, but not towards anything specific.
Alright, I'm going to look at our friend, see if he's reacting to anything.
He seems to have crouched and has gotten lower to the ground that he's on.
Alright, she's going to kneel down and, like, get a little bit lower. And she's just asked the monster, "Are you alright?"
You hear the usual clicks and chirps, except they're a lot quieter and uneasy.
She nods. Says, "Whatever, did you hear it?"
Is she speaking out loud? Can Desric
Yeah,
hear
I'm
what?
speaking out loud. I'm speaking out loud to it.
Desric's kind of looking over. Wait, what? Hear what? What are you? And Desric looks over, and they're both kind of crouched. What's going on? And Desric reaches for the blaster at his side.
I'm just waiting on a response from the monster.
Basically the same of before, except different pattern of clicks and chirps.
Alrighty.
Rose. Desric sounds very nervous.
Keep your weapons up. I think it's starting to
And
move
now
out.
he actually draws his blaster.
She draws her blaster. And, gets ready to. If she stays low, she's gonna start crouching out.
So Desric, following peer pressure here, has also crouched. What's going on, Rose?
You didn't hear it.
Hear what?
The growls.
Uh-oh, who'd we lose?
Lance, fine.
Oh,
the
it's
growls.
Lance's audio recorder.
Yeah. Apparently the laptop decided to lose connection.
Okay, sorry.
You didn't hear the growls.
Growls? No, it's quiet.
Yeah, that
And
growl
now it's
was
eerie quiet.
Quiet.
Quiet. Now it's
Oh.
eerie quiet.
I must move to 2 rows. While it is quiet, that growl was anything but quiet.
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, it wasn't deafening, but if it was audible, Desric definitely would have heard it. There's no mistaking that one.
Alrighty. It's what I don't know, but I think we should head down. We'll head down, we'll head to the barracks, we'll quickly search through those boxes and get out. Find Marez.
So should we be being like, I don't know, stealthy about it now?
Yeah, keep it quiet. I trust our friend here. And he heard what I heard
Did
then.
he hear it? Desert points to the alien.
From what I can not understand at all, he probably did hear it.
He
So
suddenly
it's just
lets
me then.
out, quietly, but a new sound that none of you have heard yet. It's kind of a whine.
And Desert is officially freaked out.
It's low pitched and nervous, but not like crying or anything. Just more like kind of almost.
Yeah.
And it begins kind of slowly, still crouched, making its way towards Rose.
The dude, the monster.
Yeah, the Felucian.
Alright, I've switched the blaster out for the sword. And she's gonna get closer to the guy.
He, once you get close enough, he kind of stops and seems to be pondering something as he slowly stretches out his hand and then a forefinger.
Oh, I look where that thing is pointing.
It's towards you.
I'm gonna move to the left a little bit.
He follows you.
Just sway to the left a little bit. What is it?
He kind of bounces his hand up and down. It's his index finger isn't extended like he's pointing, but more kind of like he's reaching towards you, and the finger's just kind of up higher than the rest of his digits.
I'm going to put my sword in my left hand. I'm going to reach out with my right and like hold on to his hand, quote unquote hand.
As you make contact with him, it's really overwhelming. But it's like your mind is quickly... Well, it's quite overwhelming, so it's torn from its current position and pretty much just flies off to a place that you're not familiar with. You don't actually see much of the background. Instead, you see a really close shot. It's the only thing that's truly visible of this face. It takes a second because it doesn't look natural, but it is definitely... Oh, crap. What are one of those creatures? Those six-legged crab... like...
The Acklay.
Yeah, Acklay. Ugh, I always keep forgetting that one. You realize it's an Acklay, but it is highly, highly deformed and very vicious looking. You hear it growl and kind of hiss a bit, but more you hear a few other notes, but it's not being made audibly by this creature, but they are definitely growls and screams, and they are inhuman.
Can I look around in whatever this is, or...?
All you see is pretty much this Acklay as you are suddenly yanked from that, and you go back into your mind. Do a resilience check. And I'm going to use a destiny.
2.2.
Okay. So, as you snap right back straight into your own mind, you're taken aback. You literally jump back. Your hand pulls off his. You physically push back, but you catch yourself. You're not. I don't know if you're sweating. I'll leave that up to you. But your eyes are definitely wide because you were not expecting this at all. You know it wasn't hostile, but yeah, it was just completely without warning. But then again, the two of you can't communicate. The creature begins to slowly back away now, back to his original distance, but still low.
Alright, yeah, I'm backing away slowly. What? Yeah, Desiree, you see that she's like quite wide-eyed and she's like sweating from her forehead a little bit. She kind of just sits down.
What just happened? Desric still has his blaster drawn and it's crouched. What's going on, Rose? Is that thing about to attack us?
No, we're fine.
By the way, you don't look fine.
From here. Yeah, oh god, no. Play right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw something that's that, but a shit ton worse.
Was that the growling noise you heard earlier?
I'm gonna look over to the monster. The Felucian was so just nod, and I like physically nod. Say yes, and I go no, and I shake my head. Was that the sound of that creature?
He understands that you're trying to communicate and whatnot, but body language and vocals he doesn't understand. He keeps cocking his head, making different chirps, clicks, and all kinds of sounds. It's still low, and he does still seem to be quite nervous, and he's kind of bouncing. And he
Let's err on the side of caution and assume that's a yes. Where's Mirez?
I get my comm out and I whisper and say, Mirez, where are you?
Yeah, I'm down on the bottom. Did you hear that?
I did, and I think the monster did as well. We're coming down. And I'm gonna just head down and make sure the Felucian's following us and say, get inside, let's go.
He is definitely following, but he's a little bit closer to Rose.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, Destric's happy to let them go first. He's a ranged fighter. She can go all stabby with the sword.
Now,
yeah, she's gonna head down and head to the. No, she's gonna head straight down to the bottom to where Mirez is.
Alright. Desric, as you're following her, you suddenly see the barracks.
Oh, crap! Desric is torn. Just a sec! And Desric is going to go disappear into the barracks.
Yeah, Rose doesn't care. She's heading down to Mirez.
Yeah, we'll do this this roll here, and then we'll do a break.
Okay, so Desric really quickly and very, very quietly is going to search the barracks for a backpack.
Alright, if you roll high enough, you'll get a backpack.
Oh, this freaking backpack is going to be the death of me. Just watch. Okay, so what am I rolling, Mr. GM?
Perception.
Perception. Do I dare use a destiny point?
You've got plenty.
No.
Yeah, why the hell not? I'm going to use a destiny point to try and get a backpack, because that's a thing that I'm doing.
And how are you using the point?
I'm gonna upgrade my roll.
That's good. That's
Not
very
bad.
good.
Yeah.
I think that's acceptable. That would be 4 success and 1 advantage.
2-2 on my end.
Nice.
You do find a backpack. Has a hole in it.
Son of a.
Not that big of a hole. If the bottle is in there, the bottle of the whiskey, it could slide out eventually, but it's always fixable.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, well, have to do for now. Desert will grab it and quickly and quietly rejoin his friends.
You found your backpack, but it's got a hole in it.
I love that use of that thread, I have to say.
The thread? Oh, the threat.
Threat. Yeah, with the hole in it, yeah.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I figured someone would get a kick out of that. Alright, you make it downstairs. You see Merez is, he's definitely got his gun out. He's not hunkering down anywhere, but he is alert. Rose, as you see him, you see about 6 different faces now, swiveling in all directions.
She hasn't, I don't think she's seen 6 before, so she's a little off put for a minute. And realizes, oh wait. Alright, and she heads back down.
And Desert, you just kind of see his eyes, his one face kind of staring at the door. His gun is out, but it's not pointed at it, but it's at the ready. And he is in a slightly low, like his legs are bent. He's in a position that, if need be, he's ready to move.
Okay. But hold on. When you said his one face, Desric doesn't see any of the other faces.
Nope, his
So he just sees his
own
face.
face. Yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
pointed towards the door. I was kind of making that a little clear because Rose is 6. You only see 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Desric is
Alright.
not sports sensitive. He does not see the weird force shenanigans.
She's gonna run. While she's going down, I want to think back to.
Oh crap! We were supposed to go to a break.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to finish this just in case you forget it along the way?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
As we're going down, this should be quick. I want to know if the thing I saw, the Acklay mutant thing, looks similar to the thing in the demons in my backstory. If I can remember, if not, it's fine. But
Well, it's more me remembering. We'll do a quick back and forth on Discord, because I need to get a few things settled on what you fully mean by that. So, for everyone else, 10-minute break. See you guys in a bit.
cool. I'll DM you about it.
All right, see you in a sec.
Overkill's back.
Welcome.
I'm sorry you guys are back. This is actually turning out to be really cool. That little sequence with Rose and the Warrior was pretty awesome.
Agreed, yeah. No issues with it, honestly. I mean, we go where the story leads, right? So it's all good.
Thanks for creativity on the use of a speechless warrior. That was neat. Well, it will be interesting to see how he does in combat if we get into combat.
Agreed. Whatever you do, don't break the bottle.
Seriously, Desric would probably cry.
Yeah, that's alcohol abuse.
There was a part of me that was secretly hoping that we would find enough bottles that we could just like fill up Rose's new.
They'll be like, okay, let's find the nearest trading port. We are rich now.
Oh yeah, but Desric is definitely keeping one of those. If there were that many.
Oh, heck yeah. Obligated.
Maybe two, but only one publicly, one for the crew. And he'd share it with the crew. And then there would be that was in his quarters somewhere. Also, Desric would secretly gloat and be so happy over the fact that droids can't drink alcohol.
Good, that would be in there somewhere.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I have
Heyo.
acquired the toast. I'm hungry.
Nice. I'm hungry too, but there's nothing I can make in the window that we have, so I'll wait till we're done.
I am hearing many, many dice. Why am I hearing so many dice? Oh, that's not dice.
Not dice.
Okay. What strange game is this?
I don't know. I just found the Infinity early, and I was just like, okay, I'll grab a bunch of pieces and toss them on the board. I wasn't expecting them to explode, mind you.
Oh, I thought we would flick the characters, except I can't flick.
I can flick.
Oh, hey, is Jonas back? I saw him rolling dice.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You can flick. Grab a die and throw it at one of the characters.
Yeah, that kind of works.
There we go. And apparently, because I left Jonas promoted,
Mer?
Nice.
Da fuck.
I grabbed a whole bunch of illies onto the board, expecting them to scatter like dice, but because the colliders are different, they actually exploded.
Came back.
Well, he's also got to deal with some tough.
Ha ha, very funny.
Toast actually sounds good right now. How's the stream looking? Because everyone's ping is over in the triple digits.
And looks...
Interestingly enough, mine's showing red, but the kilobytes a second is in the hundreds. 5,000, sorry. Not 1,000. 7,000. 9,000? What the hell? Okay, that definitely can't be right. 10,000 kilobytes a second? No, that's
You have achieved maximum internet.
I wish, but it was still red, so it definitely had to be some kind of latency connection issue that it was freaking out about because I got it set to about 3K.
Does Lord Sidious work for your cable company?
If that were the case, he would have unlimited power.
Yeah, wouldn't have to worry about data limits or, electricity usage.
Did you guys ever see that commercial?
No.
There was like this gag skit. I don't remember who did it about how the jobs the Emperor. See, they used to do gags about how clone troopers had to, or not clone troopers, stormtroopers had to go find new jobs after the Death Star blew up. There was a gag about how the Emperor had to go get a job after the Death Star blew up, after the Empire fell. And so one of his was working at a call center for a cable company.
Go for Papa Palpatine.
But anyway, so he's on this call center, and the lady on the phone asks him, "Well, what does that plan get me?" "Unlimited power," and he's like zapping, electrocuting this lady over the phone, and he goes, "Oh, I mean minutes, unlimited minutes. Hello," and hangs up the phone.
Can't have to track down the commercial after the stream.
Yeah, that's worth a good few giggles.
Alright, I'm good.
Okay, so does anything need to be done back at the ship during this time?
I think the jury's still kind of out on a couple of things. Jonas, you back?
I saw his thing go green, but I didn't hear anything.
I see his hand moving. Jonas, we can't hear you. Oh, for a frick. Maybe? Hello? There we go.
Hi!
Alright.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
How to do what?
About the stuff that's going to be happening on the ship.
We could tackle that in a few minutes, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, if you need to chat with someone, you can go through Discord and do that while we do this. But I have no idea what you're planning.
No, it's more finding a good place to do that stuff rather than
And I don't even know what stuff. So.
Yeah.
Are we referring to perhaps hacking into a certain computer console?
That's one of the things.
He sent me some information that, what's there, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, so we might be about to be eaten by a giant mutated Acklay, so we could go back to that.
Yeah, once you figure out something, and you feel like it's a good point to do it during the time I'm talking to them, hiccups. Excuse me. Just give me a interrupt or pop something in Discord or something. I'll let you choose. Alright, so... Tough, did you answer your own question when you sent it to me?
I did. I should have read what I wrote. So, yes, I don't know.
Okay, so you guys, like I said, reach the bottom. You each see a different... The same Merez, but Rose sees more.
And I'm sure that's wonderfully creepy for her.
It is a tad. So I'm just finishing off the piece of toast.
Toasty!
Yeah. Rose gets down and she starts explaining to Merez what the thing is. So just a mutated Acklay with these sounds. And I tell him, this whole image came from our friend here. And she like thumb points to a friendly Felucian friend here.
You see one of the heads follow, all that, but Desric, he doesn't even seem to move. Interesting. I don't see or sense anything. I hear it, but...
Hearing is totally different.
And Desric
beyond our sense range.
Desric looks around trying to see if he can hear anything.
He finally turns his body to Rose, and you see all the faces merge into one, and they're all gone except for the main one, his real one. And he's like, well, if anything can pop out that much power, it's not natural.
Yeah, we're gonna need everyone, I think.
I think we should just get back to the ship. That or call it here. Yeah. If it's that powerful, we'd sense it if it was close.
Yeah.
Back where there's more guns sounds good to me.
Yeah, but...
You said that B1 found some missiles, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I think we found a use for those missiles. If need be.
Yeah. I think we have.
Did we ever get those loaded onto the ship? I don't think so.
No.
We should
Negative.
probably do that before leaving.
That landing pad, though.
It's exposed, but it's our best chance to get the Skylark repaired.
Yeah. We can get it repaired. We have to get it here, though. And...
Yeah, hopefully Illy has some good news for us. Let's get back to the ship for now.
Yeah, let's go.
You think one of us should stay here and make sure it's safe for everyone to return to?
I think we're safer if we all travel together.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, if we see anything that big, if we manage to get the Skylark flying, we'll just leave it hovering and you guys can shoot it with the turrets.
That works.
I'd rather just miss it altogether. We're on a planet where the Force is alive in everything here.
Yeah, let's not bother. I think we should all go back.
Alright. I'll take point.
Roger. And I turn to the Felucian guy and say, you best come with us, man. Gonna need some more hands, I'll say.
The usual head cocking and clicks and chirps. He does seem to perk up a bit more, not as cautious.
Okay, well, I'm following Mirez, Desric just says, surveying this whole scene.
Yeah, I'm following Mirez as well.
As I was trying to say, for Rose, the sense doesn't feel as like when the growl and the screams came, it honestly felt thick, the air around you. It's lightened up a good chunk.
Alrighty.
Alright, so you guys are making your way back to the ship. And you suddenly hear, Rose, you hear a few clicks and chirps, but they're louder than normal, but they're farther back.
How Felucian friend?
This is when you get about a kilometer away.
Turn around, is it our Felucian friend?
And he's about 20 feet behind you. Standing up completely tall. And he turns on his lantern. He gives one last look towards you and heads off in one direction. Completely different.
I look in that direction. Is there anything that I can see, or?
Good distance off, you do see, like, really thick fungi. Large tree-like. But, nothing else you could see from here.
I look that way, and I look towards Merez and Desric, who are probably still running.
Yeah. Well, brisk pace.
And I look over in the distance, give him a 2-finger salute, and make my way.
Alright, so you guys are on your way towards the ship. Leo, did you figure out what you were doing yet?
No, I know what I need to do. It's more finding a character reason to do it. To do that is my issue.
Do you want to send me the things you were thinking about?
I mean, you and Illy could just start talking and RP your way through it.
Well, it would also, throwing it towards me, I could get some ideas.
Ah, yes.
But for you guys, at some point, Merez stops and quickly bolts to cover and gets up against it and then low. I don't know how close everyone is to him.
Desert's following as close as he is able, but as he's not gifted with the Force, he's probably struggling a little bit, but he's going to quickly scramble to cover, assuming that he notices.
Oh yeah, you definitely notice Merez suddenly moves.
I'm scrambling.
Yeah, so quickly stealthing into cover.
And for a second you're wondering why, then suddenly, lightly, the ground kind of shakes.
No longer wondering why.
Yep.
It kind of stops for a second. You actually audibly hear it's loud because you know it's at a distance, but from where you hear it, it's not so loud. Just sniffing. The stomps suddenly go off one direction. Okay. Don't suppose any of you really want to tango with a Rancor right now?
No, I'm good.
No thanks.
Yeah. Let's get back to the ship. And he starts going again. At this point, I'm kind of just wasting time for Jonas.
Well, I appreciate that we're stopping and hiding from a Rancor rather than being attacked by one as we're wasting time.
In the meantime, Millie is still working on the engines, what she can anyway. And she'll look over at Leo and just... Do you know when you're leaving yet?
I believe the rebels here said that we're leaving about an hour, 2 hours.
Their total stay was 4 hours, but it's
It's been some time, so I was just...
Yeah. Where are y'all located in the ship?
At least in engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, that's roughly where Leo is.
Pretty small ship. I assume you guys have a fairly close port of call.
I would assume so. It'll be the detail. It'll be something I'll find out when I arrive.
For what it's worth, I hope Warwick and the others can help Desric's parents. Not rightly sure what we can do from here.
Yes, well, from the sounds of it, Warwick is the one that's leading the charge on his parents right now.
I'm trying to remember out of character. I don't think Illy is aware of the conversation that was had as far as Warwick's warning to his nephew.
No. Only Desric was present for that.
Okay.
Also, with all the tense quietness as we're trying to stall for time, it really sounds like or feels like Illy is just a breath away from hugging Leo and saying, "Please don't go."
She's already made her appeal as far as that goes. He's made his decision. Well, Desric made his decision.
Well, at some point, there is a commotion in the medbay.
Okay. Illy's going to quickly move over to medbay.
As you open the door, Mark is attempting to keep Pith on the table as Pith is now awake and trying to get up. No, I'm fine. Just let me get up. I've got work to do.
Get easy.
Dr. Pith, we need you to stay down just in case you did have a good-sized problem that could have led to your death if we didn't, Oh, stuff it. I can fix myself. Vasiliana, are you okay?
Yes, I'm all right. Lay down.
Lay down. We were flipped over. And then now we're back right side up. I don't know. What happened?
Pretty much what you just said. Look, the ship's in pretty bad shape. I'm trying to get it fixed up, but you need to rest.
I've got to check
she's
to make
hoping
sure
nobody
everything
calls
else
her
is
out on
fine.
that.
I've got to make sure everybody else is fine. Oh, you took a wound too. I think you need a rest more than me. You're the mechanic.
Everyone else is on their feet. They're all right.
He notices Leo's like, oh, Leo, you got to side with me. She needs more rest than I do. She's the ship mechanic.
Whilst I would agree with you, this planet does have its hostile life forms.
Oh, this ship's got turrets.
More like turret now.
What happened?
Well, we flipped over.
Yeah, but we're right side up now.
Yes, but we still landed on the roof. The comms antenna and the top turret are both gone.
Huh. Is this ship cursed? I feel like this ship is cursed.
I'm starting to wonder. I'm sure it's fine. We just need to fix a few more bent panels and we'll be good to go.
Okay. Can we at least check to see if my medical logs are fine?
Mark?
Yeah, I don't have access to any real systems on this place. I can check any equipment he has set up, but if it's in the ship, it's in the ship's logs. It's encrypted. If I can't get to it... Leo, you're good with privacy. Can you take a look?
Of course. Not as if I'm interested in your biological mechanisms.
Which is why I asked.
Very well. He looks around the room and he goes, I'm just going to access the main computers.
As you walk over and try to access the main computer to the ship, you realize you're locked out of the entire ship.
I will assume that Piff didn't do this.
You say that out loud?
Yes.
Do what?
Yeah, in synchronization. Do what?
Someone assumed that they could keep me out of the computers.
Well, okay, unless I'm doing computer things in my sleep, it wasn't me.
I've been
Not exactly.
unconscious for I don't know how long.
I believe we both know who this was, Miss Eliana.
Yes, it's not exactly a long list of suspects.
No, and I don't believe I've ever seen Rose touch any of the computers on the ship.
Even if she did, I'm quite certain that it wouldn't allow her full access.
Oh wow, everyone's ping just shot up to the 999s.
Oh dear.
Is voice still okay?
Voice is fine, but it was TTS, so...
I think it's on you, man. My ping's good. My ping
Yeah,
to Lance
my
and Jonas
internet
is good
will
too.
tend to flicker. I've got my chat popped out for both YouTube and Twitch, so if anyone's in chat, let me know how the stream health is going. If, you know, any oddities are popping up. Apologies if it is.
It seems good so far from what I can see.
Alright, I guess we'll just continue and hope for the best, eh?
Right out. Okay, sorry, Leo, you were saying?
Yes. Well, seeing as though I'm under Piff's request, Desert will have to forgive this intrusion.
Alright, make computers roll. And how many difficulty do you reduce by?
Just the one, unless I'm willing to take the strain, and I'm not currently.
This is Desric we're talking about. You probably won't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
No, not very.
So yeah, it's just the one. And I remove 2 civics if I have any.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and best
Yeah,
part
boy.
is, I rolled a blank. So nothing's canceled. You easily bypass it. Laughable or not, maybe it's just your knack, but you bypass it. But the interesting thing is, a file pops up. Last access files. It's definitely Desric's log. But it's not open. I mean, you can open it, you don't have to do a computer's check, it's just popped up as last accessed.
He turns his head to look at Eliana.
What is it?
Desric's files have come up. I did not intend for these to come up.
Yeah, she'll take a few steps forward and just knowing she shouldn't, but she's gonna look.
He's gonna step part of the way from the display screen because he doesn't need it. Allow her control of that system.
Okay, she'll start taking a look through the files.
All right, so the two of you are just looking through it. Do you? Marx states, and it's definitely an invasion of privacy. To which Pith states, yeah, well, he's kind of in need of a psychiatric overhaul. I'll have to take a look myself. Actually, I'm not going to tell Ileana to leave. If you would read it out to me. Mark, if you would, since this is not your crew, please step out. Okay, I wash my hands of this. He walks out the med bay and shuts the door. Okay. Let's start therapy session.
So to be clear, this is where we draw the line is we send the outsider out and then the rest of the crew reads the captain's diary and we classify this as therapy.
Well, okay, let's see. You have the doctor who ought to know the captain's mental state. You have effectively your second in command, informal or otherwise, who should also know the captain's state of mind.
Yeah. No. We're just gonna gloss over the massive invasion of privacy here. Yeah. You guys dive in. You have fun.
And the only other person doesn't really care.
Oh yeah.
Oh, crap, I've got a lot to go through.
Sorry, I may have been thorough with the homework.
Yeah, quite a bit, because you even have the types of rolls one should make.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Hey, I told you could change those if you thought appropriate. I just made suggestions.
Yeah, and considering he rolled a triumph right then and there, most of the file's open, but there will be some encrypted areas in the file. Thing is, I've got to summarize this in some points. Well, as the two of you delve into it, you quickly realize that this seems to be before Desert received the Skylark, possibly even before he landed on Terrace. Starts off, you got a relatively naive and excited young man. He's definitely looking to prove himself. Really want to get on the galaxy on his own, get his own ship and all that. But now it begins. He's just met the crew, and a lot of it just seems to have some concerns about Rose. Definitely there's some hope for Ileana, and Leo's mostly ignored in this. You can tell, it's pretty clear that in this early entries, Desert doesn't really believe droids are sentient. But as you start reading further and further, it does seem to hint that his views might be changing just a little bit. As you get further and further, Desert actually begins to praise Leo's adaptivity to overcome a lot of adversity, observing that while most droids really can't think creatively, but Leo has been. In one entry, Desert even jokes that Leo may have done him a favor by accidentally torching his left eye because ladies dig the scars. And definitely in his terminology. Sorry, switching off some stuff. Let's see. But this is kind of leading up to where you guys were on the Hidden Fortune planet. And they kind of stop abruptly. And when they pick back up, they're dramatically changed. This is after Desert has been captured by the Imperials. His mood is really dark. There's no excitement in his voice anymore. A lot of these logs are audio and video. His tone tends to be hushed. There is definitely fear and desperation, and has replaced all hope that the other entries ever had. And there is a commonality. He keeps speaking of a shadow, or shade as he calls it. Kind of like something's there, a person, a thing, just constantly tormenting him. You quickly realize there is signs of paranoia. He is just questioning the loyalty of all of his crew members. All the praise that Desert had for Leo is gone. And whenever he mentions Leo, there's a lot of cursing and complaints of the soulless, heartless cruelty of the droid. Like I said before this, he was starting to slowly change that maybe droids could be sentient, and now he's switched over to it's soulless and heartless. And it quickly becomes he's consumed by fear. Then it starts getting really weird because he's filming himself while he's asleep. And not only is that disturbing, but it's disturbing what happens during his sleep. Because he often wakes up in silent screams, and even at a distance you could tell he's just drenched in sweat. Some nights he doesn't even sleep at all, but sits in a corner, curled in a fetal position, sometimes crying, saying, "I'm not a coward, I'm not a coward, I'm not a coward." Other times, humming some lullaby. It's indistinct. You can't tell entirely. Desert's appearance also slowly changes throughout all of these. The well-kept hair and beard appear rugged and dirty, and he's looking increasingly disheveled and worn. One day, there's multiple entries of a very inebriated Desert, crying and apologizing to various crew members, even Leo at one point. Then there's more drunken singing and humming the same quiet lullaby right before just passing out. These are the only entries where Desert is actually happy. When Desert finally wakens up from the drunken stupor, he seems to give himself a lecture and then goes to clean up. Each day after the drunken entries, the logs... each day after the drunken entries, the logs settle day. The logs begin to fall into a pattern. Nightly vids of troubled or no sleep, followed by a groggy morning ritual of short, harsh pep talks. And they generally consist of, "Get your shit together, Dez. Don't fuck this up, Dez. Man up. I'm not a coward. You'll keep them safe. You'll save your parents. Save the girl, Desric. It's the least you can do for Illy. The entry betrays a man on the edge of sanity, forcefully willing himself to continue functioning. Recently, some of the entries have been turning violent. Desric is often sharpening a knife or the van brace, or practicing quick draw techniques for his blasters. Alternating between, the blaster to his hip to the concealed one in his jacket. He also starts sleeping fully dressed, boots and all. His logs mention buying security systems, hidden cameras, and trackers. He even mentions replacing Leo's fake restraining bolt with an actual real one. In the last entry, Desric appears to have suffered from a particularly gruesome nightmare. He wakes clutching at his thigh and appears to be in considerable pain. He is shaking and drenched with sweat. In the vid, he can be heard calling up an audio file. The file plays and Desert hums along softly before falling back to sleep. But the song is playing softly and is too far away from the recorder. Hold on, now it's getting to come up with some GM options here. Could have sworn there was one thing I may have missed. Overkill, if I've missed anything you think should be included in that, send me a message, or you can actually flat out say it. Your call.
I think you covered everything. Let me go back and look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered everything, but maybe it's just something you sent me in a message. I'll send it to you.
Oh, I sent you Triumph conditions in the DM.
No, that wasn't it.
But it would actually apply, given the Triumph that he did roll. So you could add that extra log. Sorry for the immersion breaking side messages. Stand by.
No worries. I think it's safe to say that from Illy's point of view, she's looking pretty shaken.
Okay, so while that's going on, because he did roll that Triumph, you said because he rolled a Triumph, he can get this right off, right?
Yep, that one is just a freebie because he rolled the Triumph.
I'm going to have to read this because this is interesting. And I'm going to pop up a...
I could do the log, the Triumph condition, while you want to read, if that helps.
Yeah. I'm also going to pop in Discord chat a word. If anybody understands how real is pronounced, maybe someone can tell me exactly how this word is pronounced. If not, I'll go with what Overkill stated.
Okay, so for Leo, since you rolled the Triumph, in addition to the logs, you see one particular log entry that's titled a little different than the rest. It says to Leo, and it appears to be a message that Desric was writing or more accurately recording that he never finished sending. And as you pull up the log entry, there's a brief text message, and there isn't much context, but there's an audio file, video file attached. And if you pull up that file, you see a once again very not quite inebriated, more like pseudo hungover Desric. Definitely in one of his more disheveled states. And Desric appears to be trying to choke back sobs. And see if I can get into character for this. Leo, if you ever see this, well, there's no good way to say it. I'm sorry. I've been really cruel to you, not because I don't believe that you're, I don't know, a person. I mean, you're not a person, but I mean, I think you're alive. It's just, I don't know how to say this. I'm falling apart, Leo. I'm desperate. I'm scared. And after I was freed, or I guess released from the Empire, the questions, the harassment, the way you treated me, I couldn't take it. This is stupid. He's never going to read this. And Desert starts to walk away. I know I'm treating him like shit, but he treated me like shit. Why should I apologize? And Desert clicks off the recording.
Ellie will hear you should probably see this.
I thought she was there reading it too, and you were, tapped into it electronically.
Well, given it was directly addressed to him, it would probably be played to him via the cable, directly into his brain.
Yeah, because you're processing it that way, you've probably gone through everything before she's gotten up to that.
Yeah. So once I'm aware that she's finished that's when he's going to bring up that log.
Okay. Yeah, she'll watch that one as well, and I think it's she's extremely disturbed by all of it, and actually rather saddened. I don't even know where to start.
There is one more entry, if you'd like to hear it.
We can bring
Sure.
that one up too.
Basically the scene is... Actually, is this an audio or video overkill? The scene with...
That one's audio only.
Okay. Basically, you can tell there's two individuals. Both quite young. Teenagers, in fact. They're speaking Rill. One of them definitely has the usual accent of a Twi'lek. The other one sounds like a really young Desric. He keeps referring to her ever so often as Tiubo. For those that speak Rill, I'm pretty sure everyone does here, It is a feminine name that means treasure, but there's no clan name, so you get the feeling it's a nickname. Um. The two definitely seem friendly. Some of it is kind of intimate, but it's definitely an innocent conversation between teenagers. Desric seems to be telling the girl of his plans to run away from home, become a freighter captain in the Outer Rim, evading pirates, and earning a lot of money. That he's going to shower the girl in luxury. The girl obviously laughs at him and pleads with him not to go chasing fortune and glory. Desert does seem to reluctantly agree, but only if she promises to sing to him. She agrees, begins to sing a relatively sweet lullaby. Some of it you begin to realize as Desric has been humming this, but because the recorder was so far away from Desric, it was hard to notice, but you are noticing the patterns are matching up. Definitely Leo. Whether Illy can hear it is one thing. Hold on a second. Okay, that's something else. But, yeah. There's that.
My apologies, but it does seem like you well, you should have seen this.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Leo. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
As I feared, he does have a bit of PTSD. Though, this is, quite severe. It's definitely beyond my skill.
Seemingly, it's beyond his to manage.
Quite possibly.
Well, it can't take time.
As much as I hate to admit it, this split may do good, but a bit of healing would come from if Leo could apologize just for Desric's sake. Maybe something could happen. At least in that front. Beyond that, I would suggest a rebellion counselor.
We don't have the resources or the time to go back to the fleet.
Yeah, but Desric may not have too much time either. But I leave it to you two. You know him a lot better than I do.
Miss Ileana, if I may.
Yes?
Judging by the what would you call it? The culmination and progression of his decline, this is something that you need to deal with immediately.
I agree, but I'm no counselor.
Yeah, and busting him out of his shell is going to be rather hard. As loath as I am to do this, a little chemical assistance would be nice, and not in the form of a needle.
Well, needless to say, I'm very much in uncharted territory here, but I think whatever healing he needs should be done, I suppose, without such complications.
Definitely around the ones he trusts the most.
If he's going to sort out his head, it can't be muddled.
I didn't say a lot, just a little to get things flowing.
I don't know where we're going to find. Aside from food, we're pretty much out of any other kind of stock. Pretty much cleaned it out the last time we were. There's not much left.
Not to mention, after this little tumble, I doubt there's anything that's fragile left over. Though there's my friend stationed nearby. He could definitely assist us.
I would strongly suggest you gain some medical attention to him. If he was in the military, he would likely be relieved of command by now.
Definitely so, but Desric's not military. And you know how protective he is of his ship and his command. We're gonna have to play this softly.
I'm not sure I know how to do that, but I guess we'll find out. Whatever we're going to do, staying on this planet isn't an option, which means fixing the engines has to take priority. Still missing some parts, but I think I can jury-rig something. Leo, can you do me a favor?
I can.
I'd really like it if you could stay, but at the very least, I need an inventory of the engines that we replaced in the forward hold. I need to know what's still workable, what we can salvage. Maybe we can mix and match enough parts to get one of the engines working. And I plan to use that, slave the other engines, and basically use each to start the next. It can get us running, but I need to have something working first.
Has the leak been managed?
The fuel leak has been isolated. I haven't had a chance to run anything through the line to make sure it's okay. I'd just as soon bypass that fuel line. If it's only one engine that's starting the whole mess, we might not even need that feed.
If you can get to the outpost, perhaps they'll have everything that you need there.
Perhaps. Let's see what we have here, at least until they get back. They can let us know what they found, if anything.
Of course. And I'll feel it. You'll go.
Running around doing inventory. Leo, you kind of broke up there.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Just do a perception check. Much of the mess has been cleaned up, but
Yeah, about that.
it's a hell of a destiny pull if you want to use it.
Yeah, my perception roll really isn't great. Yeah, like even with another dice, the likelihood of success is very slim.
So you're sticking with this?
Yep.
Well, unfortunately, I also rolled 2 threats, so...
Complete wipe.
So... because your mechanics roll is high, you technically can't fail it. but because of the crowded of all the stuff around, it does take you a bit. Basically, you do find a list. Work that can be done by hand isn't much. It is flyable, but again, until the main drive is fixed, there's no braking orbit. But the maneuvering thrusters and the ability to hover and move somewhere is definitely there.
Yeah, he's gonna come to Ellie as he works and inform her of what he's found.
All right. It's a start. You didn't find any other fuel leaks, did you? As far as the repulsors or anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
I didn't catch that. What'd you say, Leo?
Not that I'm aware of.
Ah. Yeah, repulsors are good.
Should be enough to get the ship to the outpost. Just not off-world.
All right. Well, I'll call him over to Desric and see what he says. So yeah, she'll switch comms and contact Desric.
You guys are about halfway there.
Are you saying anything when you call me, or is it just like gonna ring?
Or is it just kind of like Desert come in?
Yeah. Desric City, come in.
Desric, I'm assuming, is about to jump out of his skin with all the scary animals in the dark, and then realize it's his own calm. Oh, hey, Ellie, you almost gave me a heart attack. We're on our way back.
All right. How long do you figure?
How long did it take us to get there? 2 hours. So we're probably got another hour yet. I'm trying to remember from last week. Does that sound right?
Maybe close to 2 hours, but not quite, I think. I don't remember. It's been a bit.
We'll say over an hour then?
Give or take. Depending on if y'all come up against anything and how much quicker you move.
Assuming we don't run into any more scary beasties, probably another hour. The outpost is a little ways off, good 2 hour plus hike, but pretty quick flight. There's a pretty good sized landing pad there and some equipment to repair the ship. If you can get her mobile, we ought to be able to make our way over there and make some proper repairs.
All right. Well, I've done about everything I can as far as certifying what we do have. I can get us moving. Do you want us to pick you up?
You know, honestly, after last time, I'd rather be the one to flyer, and let's just try and make this in one trip. Stopping along the way isn't probably the best idea. We'll be there in about an hour. You guys sit tight, and we'll join you when we get back to the ship.
All right, fair enough.
Desert out.
So yeah, she'll hurry up and wait.
Leo is going to come to Abe.
Hello, it's Abe.
Abe, I have a mission for you.
Oh! What can I do?
Abe can probably hear the sound of a door closing within the ship. This is upon my authority as an agent of the rebellion. When you get in contact with the rebellion, you are to inquire to talk to a Warwick Milan.
Warwick Milan. Got it. Anything I need to say?
Insert his rank, wherever would be appropriate. I don't know what his rank is.
Commander, actually.
He is to contact his nephew at the most immediate opportunity available to him. The two need to have a proper conversation.
All right. Anything else?
That is all.
Got it.
I know closer comes.
All right, is that it? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Yep.
That was it.
I meant for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast
Yeah,
forward an hour. Let's get back to the ship and get the ship moving.
One event happens before then. I'm just making sure everyone's done.
Okay. Yeah, at least clear.
Okay. So, about 15 minutes into the away team's journey, the rebels call over to the Skylark. All right. We've stayed our maximum time. We've got to be going. Leo, if you're coming, I guess come.
Leo opens the comm and he goes, "It seems that I am required here. Stay in contact. I may need an evac at some point in the near future."
All right. All right, this is GM saying 1 second. I guess we'll meet you at your next point of call. About how long do you think it'll be when we need to meet up?
Speaking of the next port of call, it will have to be a few days. But the next port of call, if I'm judging the situation correctly, will be the station operated by the friend of Dr. Pierce.
All right. If you patch him through, we can get that information.
Okay.
And we'll meet you there in approximately 1 week is about best we could do right now.
Very well. I'll patch Dr. Pierce through.
All right. Pith and him have a conversation. Do you leave it private or do you leave it open? As in, is it just them two, or is it like a three-way call here?
Well, it'll be a three-way call between the rebels, myself, and Beth.
All right, so even you get the coordinates of Pith's friend, and you hear the name Borgil.
Cool.
You hear the rebels jot it down. It's like, all right, we'll be there in about a week. Good luck, Skylark. Stay well.
And yourself?
Comms cut. The ramp leading into the shuttle close. Engines flare and go straight into the sky and blast off. The rebels and Abe are now gone. And yes, the away team does notice that that shuttle leaves.
That was going to be my next question.
I mean, it's dark, it's semi-quiet. They definitely saw the engines and possibly heard the roar of them. And unless something happens, they're going to make their way to the ship in 30 minutes.
I'm going to check my data. I'm going to check my data pad.
What you checking it for?
I want to see if the tracker's working.
You are definitely getting a ping.
Lovely.
I forgot you actually had that thing on.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to head back.
Alright, Zilly, Leo?
Desert just smiles and walks back to his ship.
Well, you're probably on a brisk jog here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Illy?
Ellie's gonna check in on Pith and see how he's doing.
At this point, he's laid back. He's laid back down after listening to Desert's logs. For a while, he was kind of awake, seemingly contemplating, but now he's kind of asleep.
Okay, Ellie will not wake him. She's gonna close the door and let him sleep. And she's gonna continue sorting out the last bits of the engine room and actually getting things back to working order. Cleaning up the mess.
You quickly get things back to working order, but you don't clean up the mess in time for when everyone else gets back. You get a good portion of it up.
Okay, you guys probably hear the banging.
Though I assume she's trying to keep it down so not to wake Pith.
Well, yeah, to some degree, yeah. She's being as quiet as she can.
So Desert will come aboard and survey the somewhat cleaned up or mostly cleaned up ship.
It's not too cleaned up in most of the areas, but definitely it's cleaned up in, like...
Probably go take a peek.
Is Leo in the engineering bay as well?
Yes.
Okay, where is Rose going?
Following with Desric.
Okay,
Yeah.
so...
Oh,
Unless
Leo's
Morris is
not
doing
hiding. Okay.
Okay, so...
So does
hold on.
Desric see?
Hold on. So as you... Mirez, just splits off and heads to the lounge, and the two of you head to the engineering bay. The door is shut, but is not on like a lock or anything. So as soon as you get up to it, it opens up, and you see Illy and Leo.
And Desric's mouth hangs open for a moment longer than it should, but he's gonna brush it off. Hi, Leo. Illy, looks like you've made some good progress on the engineering bay.
Fair bit, yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, are we flight worthy?
As much as we
We
can
have a
be.
place.
Let's get over to that pad, see what we can do.
The pad can
And Desric's
two
gonna
of the
ignore
ships
the
here,
elephant
so-
in the room and just head to the cockpit.
Desric,
Yes.
we need to talk later, alright?
I'm sure I don't like the sounds of that, but sure. For now, I'm headed to the cockpit. Desric's kind of eyeing over to Leo. And now he's walking away. Sorry, Rose, we kept talking over you.
That's fine.
Were you wanting to do something, or...
No, she's just kind of like a little bit shocked that Leo is still on the ship.
For her part, Illy looks very glad to have the help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Desert can't really with injured Illy, injured Doc, and the ship falling apart. Desert really can't. He'll probably say something later, but he's not going to say anything right now.
Yeah, I think Rose kind of waits for Dedrick to leave and says, "There's a landing pad at the base there, up north. It has all the things there. Hopefully, you guys can have a scavenge around, and maybe we can find the artifact stuff up there."
I hope so. Have you felt anything?
Maybe. Unsure yet. Just be on your watch.
Of course.
So given how this went last time, when Desric reaches the cockpit, he's going to first strap himself in and then open ship's comms to just like the intercom to the rest of the ship. Okay, so before we start this party again, given what happened last time, I recommend everyone find a place to sit down and strap themselves in. And Desric's going to start the warm-up cycle for the engines.
The comms coming back on in the cockpit. Preferably without the mushroom hopping, please.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, just kind of scowls to herself and.
Now, what Merez said only went to the cockpit, not the whole ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, when I make this planetary piloting check, I'm going to flip a destiny point.
Rose is going to leave Leo and Illy to it, go to the cockpit, and she's going to stand up behind. She's not going to sit down.
By the way, take a boost die because you have been piloting a ship that's been a bitch to fly.
Illy can probably hear Leo sort of mutter, "There's times like these that I wish my feet had maglocks."
Oh yeah, I also roll a setback because of that.
Oh yeah, so I'm
You and
flipping
me
a
both.
destiny point to upgrade my roll just for the mechanics sake.
Okay.
You and me both, Leo. Unfortunately, this time a chair will have to do. And she will take a seat and strap in and hold on.
Ooh, triumph.
Ooh, okay. Well, depending on the difficulty of the roll, this could go well.
It's still damaged.
Yeah, that's why I'm scared. All right, that would be 2 success, 4 advantage, and 1 triumph.
And you were left with 1 failure, 3 advantages, and the triumph.
Is that counting the
hate these dice.
success? Is that counting the success from the triumph?
Yeah, it's gonna succeed, but
Seriously, a failure? Oh, that was not a terrible roll.
no, it
It's
wasn't.
Desric.
It's distracted, Desric. So
Well, we
That's fair.
just reveal his mental state, and it's not good. Okay, so Mr.
The-
GM, what horrible thing happens to my beautiful ship now?
So
Apparently, we keep falling through the holes.
okay, it looks like we're good. So you managed to get the ship up, And let's see if I can get everyone around about where they were. So, it feels about right. Ish. Where's Leo?
Leo's still in the engineering bay.
Okay. So you get it up. You're not hitting any mushrooms this time, but she's shaky, and there's a lot of rattling. But you keep going. Obviously, you're probably getting some complaints. Merez hasn't said anything, but Beth eventually wakes up and is pretty much just going, "What are you doing now?" It's by the time you get there.
Everything's fine, Pith.
It doesn't sound fine
We're not falling.
yet.
Yes.
I am dying of laughter over here.
I'm almost tempted to have Leo go. Given that we are not in escape velocity, we are technically falling.
That's not
Falling
helping, Leo.
Style.
I don't know if style's the word that I would choose to describe it.
Shaking yourself to death is not falling with style.
Hey, leave my Buzz Lightyear quote alone.
Well, right now it's full of holes and a lot of bolts and Durasteel banging around.
So it's post-Sid.
Hey,
Probably, yeah.
you get there, Desric, you see the landing pad, and you give her a good set down, but it seems one of the
Do I have to roll
landing...
again?
No, I'm going to use the same roll. It seems one of the landing gear decides it can't lock in very well, so the ship is now cockeyed. The hull isn't hitting the ground, but it definitely, you land, sits right, and then it's dropped, and it's the one on the port aft. It's sitting at a good 30-degree incline.
Nice landing, I think.
Desric is just gritting his teeth.
Well, I wanted to get up and walk around, but I didn't want to slide out of bed! Desric, can you say I have a bad bedside manner?
It's a good thing Desric can't hear Doc.
Oh no, this is over comms.
Can we know whether this is a mechanical or a computer's problem?
With all the rattling, it's definitely mechanic.
Okay. I was wondering whether I could trick the computers into repositioning the landing gears. But Miss Eliana,
Well, any landing you can walk away from, and Desric will start to power down systems.
I'll go check the gear, see if I can get it to lock down.
or at least reset into a proper landing position.
Oh wait, were you asking about the gear not locking, or just the...
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, being wonky.
okay, I thought you were talking about the whole ship, so with that one, you're not
No.
sure. You'd have to do a systems check or a mechanics check to take a look.
Let's do both.
What's first?
Alright.
Because you're inside.
Mechanics.
I believe at this point, mechanics would be going outside and taking a look.
I'll do the systems check then. Miss
Okay.
Eliana, do you want to head outside?
Of course. Jeez. Yeah, so head outside with a toolkit and go take a look.
All right, Leo,
Yes.
take your roll.
I love how out of character Desric has issues with Pith's bedside manner, and Pith has issues with Desric's bedslide manner.
You had to, didn't you? You just couldn't leave it alone.
Nope. I got to give you the
That's-
gear sometime.
3-3.
Yeah, this isn't code breaking, so I don't lower the difficulty here.
Nope. All right. So you get in, you take a look. You bring up the landing gear there, and you can see the diagnostics. At the moment, with the way it's sitting, the locking mechanism can't engage. If lifted up, it would definitely be in a position to engage, but while not a coding error, there is definitely a loose wire keeping it from fully locking in. Like, it kicks forward, but it slides back. Like something, it's just not locking the lock, I guess you could say.
So something is loose in that general area. So
Yes.
Leo comes to
And
Ilias
the computer itself is a little on the confused side, so there will be a tiny bit of programming for the for any fixes or rerouting around it.
Okay. Yeah, he comes to Ilya and goes, "This is seemingly a two-person job. Seems the rattling of the ship shook something loose around the hydraulics and will need to be reattached, and it has also caused some glitches within the computers."
All right, I'm on it. I'll see if I can fix up the hydraulics and the hoses. I think the computers are probably your thing.
Indeed, I'm going to have to rewrite some of the code.
All right, I got to work on this end.
All right, so for Ilya, it'll be a mechanics check, and I'm flipping a destiny.
One, two, three, four, five, six advantage. 1, 2 success.
2 success.
2 success. Yeah.
And how many advantage? Wow, that's a lot of advantage.
6 advantage. Yep.
Well, you go in, you find what Leo was talking about, but you are not capable of getting to it. Not without removing some important bits. And while the ship is grounded, there's no way you're going to be able to do it.
All right. Well, I can see the problem, but we're going to have to reorient the ship in order to get at it.
Which would put you in danger of the maneuvering thrusters.
Well, I can get out of the way, that's not a problem. But with the angle we're at, engaging those thrusters without any kind of forward propulsion, it's not a good idea.
No. What is in this landing area?
Take a look around. Are there like cranes or anything that we can use to potentially right the ship without using the engines?
There are definitely arms used to lift up heavy vehicles. You do see what seems to be hover pads, and not sure what to call it, but it's meant for picking up. It's like a little hover vessel that's meant for picking up, really heavy components, like a piece of an engine for, like, say, a Skylark, stuff like that, and it could pull them onto it and push it off of it by itself. It's basically that type of a machine. And you have also got, what looks to be a deck that will slide under whatever you're working on once it's lifted up and all that stuff. It's the full works here. But whether or not any of it works, no one's checked.
Okay. Well, before we start firing up engines and trying to move the ship, Illy is going to try and assess the condition of the various equipment that we have on the pad, see if any of it is working.
How much light does she have out there?
The base lights are lighting up this entire platform.
Ah.
There's lights shining on top of the ship. There are lights on the ground that's lighting up the underbelly.
Okay, so yeah, we're good there.
But it's like the dead of night right now.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that we don't have anyone out there looking after Illy. So, who is going to come to Rose?
I mean, I probably would have been out there having a look anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about the time the landing happened, the door quickly opened, and if Rose wasn't right behind him, Raz is already outside.
Okay, never mind then.
And now on top of the ship.
Yeah, I'm just paranoid that we are on a planet teeming with life of all kinds, and we are the only source of light other than the stars. I don't know if Felicia has a moon.
I don't know either.
But yeah, lights attract beasts and insects, and all sorts of stuff.
True. Maybe fixing that gun ought to be a priority. Yeah, Ellie's gonna try and figure out what's actually working and what can possibly be made to work.
Has any of Illy's and Leo's conversation been over open comms or just back and forth to each other?
Back and forth to each other.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not sure how often we use like open comms, because that seems to be that would be more easily traced.
By the way,
Yeah, no, generally we don't.
There's open comms, personal comms, and group comms. Group and personal are just as encrypted, are exact same level as encrypted. Open comms would be dropping the encryption and trying to get a hold of anyone out there. Real quick,
fair point.
Desric, you're in the cockpit, right?
Yep.
Where's Rose?
Outside, like basically surveying the area.
If my ship gets flipped out of nowhere again, I'm gonna flip.
My hand is already over the flip table button.
Alright, so she's on Illy's under the ship, right?
Yeah.
Where is her icon? Oh, there it is.
And are approaching various equipment.
Aw.
And then we got flattened.
Hold it there, hold it there.
Poor HK.
There we go.
Out of curiosity, is there any roll Desert could make to, just slap the console of the Skylark to see if, hitting the ship will make the landing gear pop back out? I'm just curious what kind of check that would make.
I cannot get Illy under that. You want to make what pop out?
Stupid, facetious question, but if Desric were to make a roll to just slap the console, like smack it with his hand, to try and get the landing gear to pop out, what kind of roll would that be?
Oh, okay. How'd you do that?
Wait, how'd you do that? Use the move command or something?
Gizmo tools, and then there's the move function.
Yeah, that's what I thought you used.
Cool.
We appear to be quite a ways off the ground.
Brawl?
Yeah, no, he would just break his hand. This is Desert after all, so we're gonna not do that.
Not only that,
Yeah.
you have the risk of breaking equipment. I mean, that would be a 5 difficulty with 2 reds.
Damn, with 2 reds.
Yeah, a chance to, break equipment and then the chance to get your ass zapped for it. That said, I'm thinking about adding a red die to certain situations that aren't, even though they're not deadly, but just as a way to interpret a situation to where a despair could come in. It's not going to be a heavy one. It would actually take 2 reds before it to be, let's say, the equivalent of you're in combat. Like Rose is in combat, in engaged range, and Desert shoots. It would technically be, say, 2 reds, just for an example. And you have to have like 2 despairs to hurt Rose, kind of situation. This way, I can throw a bit more diversity and have an actual chance to use a despair for something, because they so rarely come up. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, so that's kind of the Desert's thing. Anyways.
Do it.
Alright, so Desert's in his cockpit, contemplating smashing the computer, then decides against it. Miraz is on top of the ship. Leo's in the ship, playing with the computers. Illy's under the ship, playing with the landing gear. Rose is patrolling.
Yeah, I'm on the patrolling. Basically, we're on those platforms, right, from before.
Yeah, on the platforms. The landing. You want to be the platforms that go under the Skylark once it's lifted up, or?
No, I was like, we're on the landing pads, just making sure.
Yeah, you're on the landing pad. The landing pad's quite large.
I'm patrolling on the landing pad, but I'm looking out. So, side to side, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Ellie's gonna pick one of the cranes and figure out what its current status is.
So you're walking over to one of the cranes and the computers?
Yeah, she's gonna see, if it's mechanically sound at the very least.
Mechanically, yes. But it's off.
Okay, she'll try and switch it on then.
It is not controllable from this location.
Okay. Not sure how much experience she'd have with like heavy service facilities like these.
Well, if she's assisted repairing her ship in, say, a dry dock or something, then she would understand. Actually, even as a mechanic, I'm pretty sure she would understand, the basic function of everything there better than a normal person would, as well as the locations of the control panels and whatnot.
Okay, cool. Is there like a central control hub for that sort of thing?
I was going to say, this would be one of those sort of situations where Leo actually would come in handy.
Yeah, he's definitely done this before. But Leo's currently on the ship and no one's communicated with him.
Yeah.
You begin looking around this particular repair bay, and on one of the platforms, you do see what seems to be a control panel, like you're kind of in an Overwatch position.
Okay, she'll try that panel and see if we can get access that way.
Takes you about 5 minutes to walk over there, go up the stairs, and get to the panel. It is off.
Okay, take a look for the power button and see if you can get it back online.
You do flick the power button, and it does hum to life.
All right, I think we're in business. And yeah, she'll see if she can access the crane.
As you go in to access the crane, you do see commands for automatic and commands for manual.
Let's go with manual for the moment.
All right, as it pops up, it's pops up a very complex sequence of controls, movements. It's not all of it touchscreen. Some of it is actual knobs, buttons, levers. What are those called? You know, like a joysticks and thumbsticks you see on a remote control for like a game system. I can't remember what those are actually called. It has multiple axes and things like that.
Yeah, she's probably kind of twisting her lips and just kind of...
Yeah, it's also showing up a lot of complex equations of where this is, the degrees and terms, lift, load, position. It is all over the place.
Yeah, she's gonna pick up her comm and just... Leo?
Is this still Leo?
Yeah, I've got a computer here that's not playing nice. I suppose you could come along and make sense of it.
I suppose I can. Though you have just reminded me. Abe would have had security clearance for their space, most likely. And I refrained from asking him the authorization codes.
Well, so far that doesn't seem to be an issue. And I guess it's a little bit late to ask about it now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That doesn't mean I'm not cursing my circuits.
We all make mistakes, Leo.
I rarely do. And he's coming out.
I can hear your circuits pouting.
It just means that I'm going to have to deal with unruly computers.
And if anyone can get these systems back in line, it's you.
Well,
Of course.
Leo actually gets up to there. It takes him a bit. It is a distance. And he gets up and he's sitting right by the computer. And Illy, I assume you kind of move out of the way to let him take a look?
Yep. Yeah, she'll kind of watch what's going on. But yeah, it's one thing to, turn a wrench and build things and do mechanics type stuff. This is probably well beyond her area of expertise, even if she's seen it.
All right. Leo, you take a look at it. This screen is very familiar to you. It is the usual manual screen where everything is done manually. It's mostly thrown to droids or very skilled mechanics who understand it, or at the very least, have done it so often they really don't even need the calculations. They can do it by feel. So what do you do?
Yeah, he's sort of looking at it like, well, I didn't personally handle these. That was usually left down to the crew and, well, later the crew droids. But I'm familiar with this sort of code. One moment. He's going to run the diagnostic program to see how much the time has had an effect on the computers.
All right, computer check.
Uh, 3.1.
Okay, so you get in, and there is a lot of corrupted data. Not just in this thing, but in a lot of things. First off, a lot of safety and security systems are quite corrupted, which is why this thing came up without the requirements of any type of security measures required. The automatic mode, usually this would be like, it has a scanner, you point to a part on the ship that it's scanned, you tell it what to do, and it will do it itself. While it's adaptable, it's usually only used for like quick and mainstream ships that are mainstream common that don't have like any difficulty. But on when you have like a difficult task, that's when you usually go to manual. Well, the automatic mode does not work. Let's see, what else was wrong with this thing? The platform that usually goes under is stuck. That lets crews walk under it and do like hand job maintenance and things like that. It doesn't work. The lift is operational, though it will only be able to pull this up 10 feet off the ground, which will make manual work even harder because they usually can't get that low. It's meant for lifting them at least 2.5 times that. It's not going to be easy. And even though the YT series is old, this was definitely meant more for combat ships and where their placements are, not so much of civilian crafts.
Yeah, Leo was just sort of looking at it like, this is going to take an awful lot of work.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
Well, in terms of mechanics, probably deal with the platform and the lift. But in terms of the actual arm itself, that might need a full examination of the code, not to mention we can't leave it on automatic. And even if the automatic function did work, it would likely damage the ship to some degree because it's not built for that.
Right. Okay, then let's stick with manual then, and yeah, I'll take a look at the other systems and see what we have to work with.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to practice with the manual for time. I haven't used one of these before. You may have worked on something similar, so I'll defer to your judgment with this.
Real quick, Desric and Rose, you doing anything special right now?
Nope, just making sure everything is all right and see if our friend has come back.
Nope. There is nothing around.
Nothing terribly interesting going on in the cockpit. Desric's kind of just monitoring. Assuming if they're on the group comms, he's just kind of monitoring comms and monitoring progress. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Back to Leo and Illy.
Okay. Yeah, Illy will make her way down, check out the ramp and the various other the lifts and whatnot.
Of the Skylark?
And see. Pardon?
Of the Skylark, or?
I believe you're saying something about some of the parts of the platform could actually shift and move under the ship.
Oh, yes. Though don't know if Leo's actually stated it, but they're broken.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
broken. You said they were stuck, so I was a bit confused as to what.
Well, stuck because something's like snapped off and blocking it. It doesn't work now.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Effectively, she was trying to ascertain whether those things were working. So.
Well, at glances you can't see because the gears that move them are actually underground.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not gonna work. What about the repulsor lift thingamajigs that we saw?
Those are stating that they work, but they're locally operated.
Okay, if
Okay.
it might be a bit of a way around, but we could probably use those to lift up the ship so you could gain access to the hydraulics.
It's worth a try.
It would be
So-
more efficient than using this buggy hand to do it. It isn't really, built for what we're trying to do.
How many of those repulsor lift sleds are? How many of the lifts do we have?
You see 2. But you haven't actually taken a thorough look around the entire surroundings.
Okay. Well, we'll start with 2 and see where that gets us. She's gonna check, make sure they're still working.
Alright. You go over to him. Is Leo just sitting there, or is he assisting?
Yeah, he's gonna go over that too. Yeah, he doesn't trust the hand enough to try and get that to work.
Okay. So, as you do that, Rose, on your little patrol route, you suddenly hear cackling.
Do I know it from direction?
Perception and force die, please.
Both my full style. Or...
Just one.
Can I re-roll that? I'm gonna re-roll that.
Alright, I get a reroll as well.
Yep.
Much better.
That works better. 4 successes, advantage, and a triumph.
Nice.
And on the dark side.
Oh yes, and 1 dark.
Alright. Okay, I got the result. And you can detect the direction. But as you do so, how to state this? Your mind does get a bit cloudy and hard to focus. You do remember your time in the Plague Marsh, but it's a little different this time. Less like whatever's doing this is aware. More like it's just residue. It's weaker, but it does feel like a part that is incomplete. Something incomplete. And as you stretch out, it is east by northeast. And then right as it ends, you are suddenly assaulted by the memory of being picked up and slammed against the wall by a face that is switching between alive and a decrepit, a living person, old man, and a decrepit corpse. It hits you suddenly and disappears just as quickly. You personally don't move, but the sudden slam of it and bringing yourself back to reality does give you with a strain.
Alrighty. I'm gonna come to Desric.
Yeah, Rose, what's up?
Think I heard something. East-ish. I'm heading out that way. Shouldn't be too long.
Okay, stay in comms contact. Do you want to take Mirrors with you?
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, best not to travel alone given the company we saw on our trip. Just keep in comms contact and don't wander too far.
I'm gonna switch off that and I come to Mrez.
Yeah.
I do believe she may have ignored that last bit.
I may have felt something over the east. Did you feel it?
He walks over the top of the Skylark towards the eastern side and just
I wave at him and then point him in the direction.
He scans in that direction. No, nothing.
I might need your hand.
I'm game.
Let's go. And she's gonna start walking in that direction.
He hops down, catches up, and you two head off eastward in the middle of the night. And that's where we're going to end it.
Yes.
You know, because splitting the party has never ended poorly for this group in the past.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like
I have mirrors.
Pretty much.
Felicia is like party split central here.
I was just imagining like Rose seemingly gets memories of Terrace and immediately decides to go off on her own with Mrez. Given what happened last time.
It's better than actually going by myself. I guess I'm gonna head out that way with Rose.
Yeah, but last time this happened, you weren't alone.
Yeah. Everyone was there to help.
Too late.
And they can get thrown around.
This is how Rose dies.
Just thinking from a GM perspective, we have to be one of the worst parties to manage. Like there's only 4 of us, but we're constantly like, I'm gonna feck off over here and go do my own thing.
Have you
like
seen
there's always at least 3 storylines running simultaneously.
More practice for me. But it does make things interesting.
Yeah. On the other hand, there's things that need to happen. You can't hold off on the engine repairs. So.
Oh yeah, there's also that aspect to think about. That now the people outside fixing the ship don't actually have any protection.
Well, Desert is in the cockpit and the bottom turret still works.
Yeah, but the captain just sent off our protection without telling us what was going on.
Yeah, and you two weren't looking in that direction, so you don't even notice they're gone yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you landed on Tanab, split up, got screwed over, got left and went to Felucia, and now you're splitting up constantly.
I tell you
I
what,
think-
stop breaking the ship, and then we don't have to split up.
I think Desert's also kind of just given up with Rose at this point. As long as she comes back safely.
Safely.
Now, how are you going to feel when she doesn't?
Well,
She
that's
just
kind of her
never
fault.
comes back ever.
Hey, he no longer has to pay her.
Well, I mean, but how likely is it that Rose would have just run off and done her own thing anyways without telling Desric?
Without another ship? Yeah.
Anyways, thanks everyone so much for joining us. Hope you had a interesting time. Sorry for lack of vids lately. RL is a bitch. Either way, hopefully Wednesday is looking good. Next Wednesday. Until then, I will see you guys later.